Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the True Internationals. I should, in fact, say welcome back because, of course, this is gonna be the last round of the Swiss stages, and it feels pretty surreal. Like that day, I joined True Internationals to be casting over here, and we were on the midst of like just starting it off, but we're already at the end of it right now, as we're going to be seeing the last six teams battling against each other in this best of one series and get the match point. And we're going to be witnessing how good. I mean, after all, to make it to the playoffs, you gotta beat the best of best. And today, a lot of hearts will be broken because so many teams have been putting in effort. But unfortunately, there can only be one victor from each match. So, looking forward to how it's gonna go. And obviously, tonight I'm gonna be alone for some time until I'm joined, hopefully by someone. But hey, I'm gonna be even if I'm alone, it's all okay, right? And overall, I think today I'm honestly looking forward to Icy Paradise because it was really nice to have them on interview, especially their that icy move that they went for. I would love to see it, but hey, they're also against a very strong team after all. And I'm just gonna be waiting for the draft to be happening. And I'm right now today only accompanied by my beloved streamer over here, my buddy False. I can't see the draft yet, but I will see it quite soon. And there we go. The moment I said it, it's there so fast. And okay, Fusion Esports and Icy Paradise. Oh my god, I'm not liking it. In the sense that this matchup makes me feel a little bit sad because, of course, I'm looking forward to both of these teams being in the playoff stages. But hey, looks like fate has brought us into the scene, and we're gonna be in for a ride. Of course, let's look. So far, what's the draft? Obviously, Fusion Esports have done their homework. They have realized that Granger to Hands of Wink is a massive. It's gonna be a massive loss if they go for. And on the other hand, Icy Paradise is really going for the. I think they have been going for the same two bans for against most of the Malaysian as well as Southeast Asian teams. As you can clearly see, the Florian and Matilda just do not see the light of the day at any time around. But hey, that does give away the Yishan Shin to the hands of Fusion Esports, considered one of the best junglers right now in the game. Even number one, I would say. Yeah, he is technically number one when you're considering the fact that other junglers have kind of fallen off. His damage really scales off extremely well. On the other hand, though, they get the Lapu Lapu and Baxia. And considering that Icy Paradise plays similar to Indian subcontinent, that means that Baxia is going to go to the roaming position, so he's going to be more active into those team fights. But overall, they also obviously give out the Uranus. Okay, Fusion Esports, they're going for a carry. I'm gonna be honest with you, so far the carry has not been successful for anyone yet. But let's see if Fusion can change the things, because after all, this is only a one shot. Best of one series are always gotta give your best, because the carry, I feel like she's not the best marksman right now in the meta, especially considering her range is lacking, her damage is underwhelming until she can get the Trinity build done, and even then she only dishes out the damage to mostly, I think, the Baxia. Lapu Lapu has shield, so he'll be able to sustain a lot of the damage out. And there's also the Farsa that's going to be zoning her out tremendously. So I think carry on this meta, I feel like she's in a weird place, and I feel like she should not be prioritized. But hey, they're actually going in for the Kaja ban. Makes sense. Fusion have pulled up the Kaja jungle a few times, if I'm not wrong, right? So makes sense that they want to eliminate out. But I'm curious, do they want to go for something fast paced or something like Nolan? Not really sure, because I understand Kaja jungle. No, Kaja roam, because Yushin Shin is a jungle. So I'm not really sure why they're banning out the Kaja, unless they want the Farsa to be extremely safe or the jungler is going to be vulnerable. It makes sense though, because Demon King likes to play most likely a Lancelot or a Nolan. And in those cases, I feel like obviously there could be a Kaja counter pick coming in. So it makes sense why they would want to do that. So, but overall, I think the draft is settled from both ends. But let's see. The last bans coming in. The Moskov gonna get banned out, especially considering his global presence, SOD. We can never obviously stop saying it because he's a massive threat, despite being a marksman that is basically quite similar range to carry, faster attack speed, and a global presence with the SOD. Oh my god, they're banning out my wife, Icy Paradise. You know the thing, obviously. Zushin, I feel like, has been undermined by a lot of teams recently, but I'm glad that someone is. I mean, some teams have been able to still understand her potential, and they're doing a good job at it. Right now, we're gonna be seeing the last band that's coming up from Fusion Esports. Overall, okay. I think they should probably go for another marksman ban, and I feel like it should probably gonna be okay. I was thinking Brody. I think Icy Paradise can pick up a Brody right now and counter out the carry tremendously. But I feel like Airtel is still on the table. Airtel will just be a little bit vulnerable to the. Obviously, she also has a little bit of a. No, I think Airtel is gonna be a good pick overall. Icy Paradise, I think they'll most likely commit to a Brody or a Airtel at most. But let's see. They have Wink and Demon King. Both of them look. Demon King smile with the beanie. He looks great. If it wasn't this cold, I would have loved to wear the beanie, man, just to join him. But unfortunately, it's very hot. So stay hydrated as well. Make sure you're not losing fluids from your body because you're gonna get sick. So take care. Overall, Fusion Esports, I want to see if they're gonna be responding with most likely a Kufra, because I feel like it could be a decent option. I don't think a Chip or a Matilda, not Matilda, sorry, the Carmilla would be a good option. But hey, let's see. Overall, okay. Last two picks gonna be coming. I think Wink is most likely gonna go for Brody or Airtel. On the other hand, Fusion Esports still last 20 seconds. Here comes the Tiger. Okay, they're gonna go for a very classic pick overall. So that is something that Icy needs to watch out for. Okay, going for the Sicilian. I think he's just late game scaling. So Fusion Esports is playing full late game, and their only early game is gonna be saved by their tanks. Okay, going for the Clint for even more range. So that basically means that they're gonna have a lot of range. They have early game, they have poke, and they have late game damage balance as well. Icy Paradise draft looks a lot more balanced, but I wouldn't undermine Fusion Esports' performance because this is still the 2-2 brackets. Need 2 wins to get here, but of course they also suffer 2 losses, so that's something they need to take into account. Tonight's the last chance they get, and they will face elimination if, of course, but either of these teams get knocked out of it. And there's the lineup, and they're looking great, and I'm looking forward to how it's gonna go. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is the True Internationals. Comment down below which team you're supporting. It's gonna be Bhutanese versus Malaysian team, Fusion versus Icy. I like the fact that Fusion and Icy, they're like polar opposites. It's like ice and obviously fire. But hey, let's go. Tonight I'm gonna be alone in the casting desk, but at least I have my dear audience, right? I have my dear modders. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn. So cloudy left and right. As I wish that cloudy was here. I need some rain. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first match of the evening. And of course, basically the last round of the Swiss stages. It's going to be best of 1 between Icy and Fusion. Onto the casting desk, it's going to be Ray and Zushin. Yeah, 2 Rays and a Zushin. 3 casters today. But only 1 is speaking. Damn. But jokes aside, we're not going to be seeing much action, I feel like, because of course I think they are going to be paying respect to each other, and most likely they're going to wait out. I think especially for Fusion Esports, playing the passive game would be so much better considering they have good amount of late game, and the Sicilian is kind of obviously underwhelming in the early game. So let's see what decisions they go for, because I feel like not committing to any team fights for some time is the best call of action. But hey, you never know what these teams strategize, and sometimes they can even go for a team fight even if they don't have any early game. So let's see. Overall, nothing much yet, just poking, and of course Kerry gonna get gapped in the goal lane by that range overall. Uranus and Lapu Lapu will just exchange blows and blows overall, but hey, let's see how it goes. And okay, I think the top lane we're gonna be seeing some action because they're concentrating right now and we'll see what's gonna happen in few moments because I feel like the turtle will come in. Okay, Yushin does go there. There's Sabaksha trying to poke him in, but okay, the tiger also comes in as well. They're trading blows, warning shots left and right. The Yushin already uses the commanding blows just to use his ultimate and to get the vision. But overall, that's just gonna mean that okay, few shots is wasted here and out. No spells used up, so that means that this hurdle is still going to be into the hands of Icy. Just like I predicted, the side of Fusion cannot afford to take any battles, and I feel like that is the good course of action that they should go for. But Icy, they gotta make sure that they play super aggressive because they have to make sure that they're getting the win. Oh, Wink might be in a little bit of a trouble here, but uses of the Purify, but instead gets taken by Kuro Sensei. I just realized our coach is playing today. That is lack of people, right? Lack of people, but oh, look at the burst that's coming in from Nico over here. So a lot of bursts, but the Sicilian, of course, the mage that has a sustain from the level 1. Let's look at the itemization. Farsa with the rapid boots. Nico, what is that? You can already rotate fast, but I feel like that's a little bit overkill on the rotation department. But hey, maybe that's something of a meta decision they want to go for. But no force items just yet. Only been 3 minutes, but they're building towards it. But no, okay, Wink already gets his hand into the 7C. So that it means that he's leading with quite a bit. Carry hasn't really gotten it yet, but does have the recipe items to be dishing out some semblance of damage. Overall, we're going to be seeing an intense battle. After all, this is either of these teams' last match tonight. Goal ranking wise, Lapu Lapu is the one who's actually leading. Oh, Tiger getting melted down quite a bit. Roger looking a little bit hungry, but of course can't go inside the turret to get down. Farsa better watch out because Nico, there's the Yushin Shin coming in, dishing out a lot of damage, but there's the escape coming in as well. Lapu Lapu goes in with the bravest fighter, wants to dish out the damage, but Yushin Shin is just a little bit too slippery, and they will go back. But overall, hey, another turtle is going to be coming in. Lemon providing some vision. I think this time around they are looking to come in and commit to it because they do have some damage, but I feel like still their focus is going to go into the far lane. They're going to go for the Wink over here on that Clint. Let's see. And Uranus getting melted down quite a bit, but he has to retreat. There's the anti-heal as well. So I feel like this is going to be another free turtle, but look at the box here. He's just going in ham. And right now, top lane, Wink has to take care of 3 people on his lane who are chunking down the gold turret quite a bit. But of course, that minion will get taken down. Another wave coming in, but they realize that the side of Team Icy Paradise is coming in here. Carrie's gonna get stuck in a jiffy because she stayed there for a little bit longer than she was invited for, but they do get back. A lot of resources getting baited out over here. Uranus. Also, there is a implosion play coming in from the Tigreal. A lot of dishing out damage. Nico barely scraping it off, and Mercy will not face the mercy of Fusion Esports and get taken down as well. What is this Fusion Esports immediate bounce back? And right now they have 3 kills. Looking for the 4th one, and Darkness secures it. 4-0, double kill for the mid lane. Instant replay required, because what was that? Icy Paradise, you might have gotten the turtle soup, but you're losing out the kills, which is obviously not a good thing, especially when you're gonna lose out so much. Right now we're still seeing them going ham because they got another kill, as I can see on the small window right there. I'm good at looking at small things, but hey, let's see. 5-0 as 1k goal laid into the hands of Fusion. Despite the objective advantage, they are right now losing out on the team fight as the Sicilian is scaling off, and Icy Paradise, they better have the proper response back. If not, they're gonna be in a lot of issues. So far though, we're looking at 1000 goal lead, 5 kill advantage into the hands of Fusion Esports, and let's see how good it traverses ahead because we're still 6 minutes into the game, and I think we're most likely going to be seeing the game shifting back and forth a little bit, but it honestly depends because the side of Fusion Esports is playing very dominant right now. The game has switched quite a bit, and the last turtle is going to come up. This time around though, I feel like, oh, Nico over here going a little bit too aggressive. I feel like that is unnecessary. He uses up the Purify just to escape. That is a green light for that Tigreal to be going in. Let's see. Overall, we're going to be seeing the turtle coming up this time around into the hands of Fusion Esports, but Lapu Lapu goes in with the bravest fighter over here. The Roger trying to buy some time, but there's the implosion. Lucky 365 will be getting the jungle, the turtle, the killing spree. He even got the tortoise. He got the turtle and the tortoise. That's pretty crazy, right? Double kill for this Yushin Shin, and right now he's gonna be okay. Obviously, we need the instant replay because what just happened? What happened was that Tigreal is being a menace. I gotta say, Tigreal, despite the fact that he's one of the OG, the first 5 heroes that the game gives you, he's honestly a great pick because that implosion at such good timing was absolutely able to stop the Roger from doing anything. And right now 7 kills, 0 onto the hands of Icy Paradise, and they're not able to respond with anything. And I feel like it's mostly Kuro Sensei. I gotta say, it's Kuro Sensei. There is just no way, like, the amount of difference he's able to create with the vision, with the amount of CCC providing. It's still 1042 as well, so that is something to say. I mean, he saved his marksman so many numerous times. I feel like the amount of kills is the amount of times he has saved him. That is some impressive work. And Lemon over here 005, 402, and overall the Yushin Shin is already level 12. A lot of level advantage. The only one standing. Oh, implosion coming in, but there's a Purify coming in as well. There is Nico. Looks like the side of Icy Paradise this time going in ham. Kuro Sensei will be the first one to be falling, and Uranus is gonna dish out a lot of damage, but will have to get back down. Double kill for Mercy, because right now Icy Paradise is looking for a clapback, and we're clearly seeing it on action. Double kill for this Lapu, and 7-2. They are going in ham. There's the Sanguine Claws trying to dish out the damage to just defend the mid lane, but not gonna be able to do so. Heal ranking 25,000. It is insane how much regeneration the Uranus has, but overall Lucky 365 better watch out because you're gonna be the next primary target. He's trying to get out of this situation, and he does. The Lord's gonna be up. They gotta make sure that he stays away, and of course they gotta make sure Kuro Sensei stays away, because if Kuro Sensei is nearby, the Rosa gonna be a lot of heap of trouble. But let's see. Lord getting knocked down a little bit over here, and we're gonna be seeing the boss pulling huge coming in. And let's see, it's already melted down to a lot of HP. Yushin Shin though is quite far away, but here's coming up with the dashes. Demon King will secure with the Lord, but look at the damage that's coming in from Darkness. They take down one member. Nico trying to dish out some damage, and he already took down the Uranus. Double kill for this menacing mage. And the fact that he did this all in 5% HP, that is commendable. That is an insane feat. Both of these teams are nothing out of extraordinary. They're pulling up gameplay like it's MPL, but this is true internationals, and this is great. Overall, we're gonna be seeing the Lord going into the hands of Icy Paradise, and we're gonna be waiting because I feel like the side of Fusion Esports will be able to defend this very well. But hey, let's see. The Lord's gonna be marching down from the mid lane, as you can see on your screen on the bottom, but right now it's the full screen, boy. And oh, look at the damage that's coming in. Lemon getting shedded over here. The Clint is finally able to come online, but look at the implosion that's coming in. Monster kill for Lucky 365, looking for more kills because he does a 24/7 double kill for this boy over here. 704, and right now double kill. Look at him, he looks so nice with that peace sign, like, yo, I got double kill. He's actually showing it with his fingers. Damn. Hey, we need a picture of him getting a triple kill as well. Maybe he's cursed with double kills, who knows, right? But the scoreboard right now, 12-4, around 3,000 goal lead into the hands of Fusion Esports. And we're seeing 3 turrets down into the hands of Icy Paradise. They have responded back and taken down all the tier 1s as well, which is commendable. But right now they have to be looking into it, because look at that, tier 2 of mid lane, of the bottom lane is in jeopardy. Lapo over here gonna get some vision. Roger looking to defend it, because obviously they need the ground clearance. They gotta make sure the map is not filled with their opponent's minions, but right now looks like they're gonna lose out the tier 2 on the bot, and that means that they're getting zoned in. The tier 2 on the mid lane might just be in trouble as well, because it's looking dicey and spicy for the hands of Fusion Esports. And what is Icy gonna be responding to this? Micey. I'm trying to rhyme, okay. A mouse, yeah, technically a mouse. Mouses can be. Okay, Demon King gets the endless battle. Can we take a look into the itemization? I would love to see What have they built so far? Okay, Lapu Lapu going for the damage build. I feel like you gotta need some defense over here this time around. Clint though has the malefic gun, so some penetration and endless battle for the extra true damage. Okay, this time around Demon King is going for a little bit of sustain, not going for the full burst build like he did yesterday. So a good job. On to the other hand, the Yushan Shin is full build with only the rose gold left to make. That is insanity. He's also level 15 if I'm not wrong. Okay, a possible engage is coming in. The Purify gets popped in. Implosion gets out of the control. And Nico will fall over here. But Lapu Lapu going in for a ham engage and a shutdown. The wolf is hungry. He's looking for food, and right now he's going to be able to most probably take down the Uranus. He's trying to take him down. Wing gets to shut it down, and right now the whole side of Team Fusion Esports has to forcefully go back. And right now we're going to be seeing the side of Icy Paradise get the lead into the game as they're going to go for the Lord. There's no jungler from the hands of Fusion Esports that's going to be coming in, and we will see the side of Icy take the Lord number 2 into their hands. And yep, they're gonna get this Lord number 2, and they're gonna be getting it in. Okay, the Lord's gonna be coming in 13 minutes 10 seconds, so they have around 10 seconds to regroup, clear out the lanes, put some pressure, because they gotta take down the tier 2s, because their tier 2s have already been taken, or you can clearly see on the top lane it's basically melted down quite a bit. But overall, let's just see. Blade Armor over here into the hands of Moon. And I think Blade Armor will not help that much against the carry, but against the Yushin, yep, gotta agree. Look at the damage that's coming in, because Lemon over here just could not sustain it. And right now, let's see who's next. Because the side of Icy Paradise, they're looking for the angles to shot the damage to get into the base of the Fusion Esports. But on the other side, the Yishin Shin trying to do the same thing, because he's going in for the backdoor play, and I feel like Icy Paradise is unaware. Is the tier 2's down in the bot, but right now Icy Paradise, they gotta send one member back in, so it's gonna be a 4 versus 4. There's the damage that's getting dished out. Lapu Lapu goes into the base to make sure that this sneaky Yishin Shin doesn't get a chance to do anything. They do lose the inhibitor though, and despite the fact that they were in the disadvantage, Fusion Esports over here with Lucky 365 is able to get a trade-off. Both of them lose out their inhibitors, equalized on the turret numbers, because you can clearly see both of them have their 2 inhibitors alive with 1 tier 2 and 1 inhibitor exposed. This is great macro play over here. Like, Fusion Esports just had so much better wave management this time around, and I feel like Icy Paradise, they gotta step up it and gotta make sure they get it right now. Clint gonna go for that endless battle and despair combo to dish out the most amount of true damage, because of course that's what they need. He also needs a poke, but Sicilian also here building the 3 items, gonna build that Winter Crown most likely. Carry has a Trinity and building towards what seems like to be the despair is tweaking over here. But yeah, Carry is gonna be getting the Wind of Nature. I feel like to go for a 1 versus 1 against, I feel like most likely the Clint or the Roger over here. And I feel like okay, looking at every itemization, it's pretty clear that they're building pretty good. I would appreciate the Baxia would get a few more HP items, but okay, look at the gold ranking 11. What? 15,000 is it? No, 13,000 into the hands of this Yushin Shin. Absolute madness. How does this guy do it? Pretty crazy. Okay, Wink over here just contemplating his life decisions right now. Just kidding. He was just standing, waiting for the minions to be coming in. And this game has become a game of wait, a game of anticipation. Let's see how good it works around. Right now, Lord's gonna be spawning in, and we will see Icy. We see Icy. We see Icy go to the Lord. That's dicey, and the game is spicy. And right now, there's no Micey. I'm just trying to rhyme, okay? Even if it's cringe, whatever. But 14-7 score. Game is pretty equal into anybody's hands, but the Lord goes into the hands of Icy, and that basically is gonna mean that the side of Fusion Esports, they have to go revert to a possible another backdoor possibly. But look at this time, Icy, they realize Team Bhutan over here, they have known that Malaysia wants to make sure they go for a possible another backdoor, and they're not going to let it, because look at them. The wave management is there. They're going to be dominating the lanes. They're going to be making sure it's synced up. They take down the tier 2s, and they zone in Fusion Esports. This possibly looks like the final rush into the base. The Nexus for the hands of Team Fusion Esports. Let's just see. Bottom lane over here, the Lord's gonna be marching in. There's the call up from the Yushin Shin, getting the vision of all 5. But it's not gonna be mattering, because right now they gotta defend it. The Lord does get melted out by the damage from the carry. There is the zoning out coming from that Nico over here. And Tiger goes in for a possible implosion play. He does pull up a lot of people. W2 does take down Moon, but Demon King right now will also make a trade-off with taking down the Uranus. Right now they're looking to go for the top lane inhibitor as well. Great defense coming in from the hands of Fusion Esports. And damage taken ranking of fiercely 124,000 into the hands of Team Ice. Okay, you're only Uranus, not Team. But hey, let's take a look into it. Overall, we're gonna be seeing decide both of them. This is a game of patience and wait and anticipation overall, but let's see. Okay, looking at the itemization, Uranus building towards his last 2, and that's as a EXP laner that has the roaming item equipped. On the other hand, the Flint almost done with the items over here, most likely building towards that Malefic Roar. I would honestly prefer to go for crit rate, because you see, you're already dishing out a lot of true damage. So going for the Malefic Roar along with the Malefic Gun, I feel like it's not gonna be that good. Oh, okay, did he listen to me? I think he did. Yeah, he did. That is nice. Damn, Wink, you're actually listening to me. Are you in the VC? No, he's not. He's in the VC with his buddies. But overall, let's see. The game has reached a point we're going to be seeing the game become a point of weight. 15,000 gold lead into the hand of this man over here, and it's just insanity. And right now, let's see how the game's going to go. Vision given from the Yishin Shin, and right now we are seeing... Oh, Demon King squad is Meow. I just noticed. We have a similar squad name back in India, but overall, let's see. Lord's gonna come in, 18-minute Lord, so it's gonna be a little bit fatter, but a little, not exactly a special one, but hey, Koro Sensei over here trying to make that play. It does get immediately detected out. There is Nico with that barrage, that feather airstrike, possible engage coming in, because Tigreal is already quite low. He's gonna get taken down along with W2, and right now it's going ham for the hands of Icy Paradise as they're equalizing the score and the map. Only 3 people left defending the base, and they're gonna be able to get this Lord. Okay, that is pretty great. They're gonna get the Lord coming in just 15 seconds. That's gonna be 19:45, and considering the fact that the okay. The carry will be back on time, because the Lord does take time to walk in, yeah. Carry and Kuro Sensei will be back on time by the moment the Lord is in the base. But if they're able to defend or not, it really depends. But let's see. Lord's gonna be walking in slowly but surely, giving the time, buying some time for the hands of team, of course, Icy Paradise and them both. But let's see. Icy Paradise over here going in for a possible full hem in. Hail Mary play is required, because they gotta go dive in, because the Lord is beefy. They need to do something, because there's a Divine Glaive into the hands of Nico as well. They gotta make sure they do something right now, because Lucky 365 is getting melted out. They do take the top inhibitor, and the top lane is exposed, and so is the bottom lane. And right now, okay, are they still playing the patient game? Because Kuro Sensei is not patient anymore. He goes in for a possible engage W. Moon and Lapu Lapu will fall immediately to the hands of Carry, and the side of Icy Paradise have no choice but to back off. Instant replay over here, and we're gonna be seeing both of these teams just see basically what happened. I think Icy Paradise needs to play a little bit more aggressive. They have to take up the fight, and they have to... I know Lapu Lapu is the one charging in, but they gotta start off with Farsa. Then catch the side of Team Fusion Esports off, catch them off guard. Because right now, they're the ones actually getting pressured back. What is this game? Huh? because right now it looks like only 1 minute in, and the side of Fusion Esports are the one who's actually charging into the base because they have the numbers advantage. 5 people against a number of 3, and right now better watch out, Wink, but they do get an unstoppable here, and both of these teams have been going in back and forth because Farsa barely scraping it off. Nico has to go back into the base, but Kuro Sensei is going to be falling because he will fall victim. And what a game. This is a full-on tug of war, back and forth, left and right, because it's not going to be stopping anytime soon. And let's just see, look at the Roger over here, and Lord spawns in 5 seconds. I do wish Lords were more frequent in the game, because yeah, in the later phases you have nothing to do, it just needs Lord, man. But overall, considering the fact that they don't have 2 members, Yushin Shin might just get caught up in here because he does have the immortality, but he will fall in right now. And looks like how the pace of the game is going, Icy Paradise might just be able to get it because Monster Kill. They do take down to one of the main guys who was obviously the jungler, but right now they still have the minion wave far away. The Sicilian doing so much right now, dishing out so much damage. And it's just pretty crazy. But hey, let's just see how it's gonna go. Okay, overall, they're gonna be able to melt down the Lord because they don't have Yushin Shin, and they can do nothing about it. The Lord's gonna be coming in. Oh, this is a really good time. Does that mean the Lord's gonna be coming in right now? Right now? Okay, no, it's gonna come on the next second. Yeah, you need a 10-second gap. It's gonna come on 23 minutes, 10 seconds. So that means it gives them ample enough time for Lucky 365 to be back. Okay, Moon finally got the Twilight armor. Gonna have more HP and will be harder to melt down by this carry. I would appreciate the boots getting sold right now because you don't need the boots anymore as a roamer. What you need is sustenance, and I feel like the Winter Crown can help. I feel like they gotta sell the boots. Obviously, it's almost 24 minutes in. Lord is beefy. Gold ranking up. Why is the gold ranking shy? Why are they going away? But hey, Lord's gonna be marching in full build for everyone. No scopes left anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Lapu Lapu is far away though, but I think he'll be here on time. They better go in for a possible engage. Nico, the game is on your hands. There's a Federer right coming in. The Lord's already melted down for quite a last right now, and I feel like this is a last possible engage because Godlike over here into the hands of Demon King, and they're going in full ham. Winter Crown plays left and right. Wind of Nature as well popped in, but the base is going to be left exposed as Icy Paradise secure the win, and the Bhutanese team will go into the playoffs as they eliminate Fusion Esports Team Malaysia out of the competition. It's so funny just seeing myself coming back. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's me back again. It's Ray. Icy Paradise, congratulations. I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty happy. Honestly, I would have been happy with either of these teams winning. Okay, why is my so high up? Okay, yeah, it's better. Honestly, I would be happy if either of these teams win because I love the coach of Team Malaysia, Kuro Sensei, and I love the members of Team, of course, Icy Paradise. But there can only be one winner, and hey, we just saw it. Icy Paradise was able to prove themselves to be the better team this time around. And hey, I finally have the whole casting desk to myself, and I can see the whole body of Zushin. Yeah, it's this big. Jokes aside, we'll probably get the result screen soon. And I think the MVP was... Honestly, that's hard because Demon King has the most kills, if I'm not wrong. Wink was dishing out a lot of damage. And Nico, he was one of the crucial factors as well because that double kill from him with just like 2 HP left. That is an insane mage play over here. But yep, it's gonna be Demon King 717. This guy, and he's, oh my god, he's going for a full burst build again. I would love to have this guy on the interview, man. I want to ask him why full burst Roger. But hey, it actually worked this time around. So maybe I'm the one who's ruined it wrong. But love the jersey and symbol, man. It looks pretty sick. But Icy Paradise, congrats, they moved to the playoff stages. And you know, obviously we're gonna have the interview most likely, and I'm just gonna ask them the most basic and dumb questions possible because I feel like they're chill like that. But overall, we're seeing the result screen. At the end, Icy Paradise was leading on with 10,000 gold lead, and it is insane. I feel like this game was not set in stone. Both of these teams put 100% effort, but there was only one that came out on top. Gotta give the shout out to the hands of Team What do you say, Malaysia over here, Fusion Esports, because I feel like they did a really good job, because like, especially when it considered the fact that they had a little bit of a marksman gap due to the fact that W2 just does not have the range and everything. They were still able to do great with that Sicilian pick, and going into the later phases, Kuro Sensei's laning phase and everything. Rich Guy actually goes into hands of Lucky 365, because of course, how was this guy farming up so fast? I'm loving it with that we're having both team members. It's as you can see, actually there's 3 of the members from Fusion Esports being the main people. That really shows that this game could have been theirs, but at the last moment, it was Icy Paradise that won the game. And hey, Wink, how do you become the wingman as a marksman? Because we gotta go for an interview. Turn on your mic, because I'm alone today. Yo,
So,
what's up? What's up, man?
what's up? What's up, guys?
It's only me today.
What is this done?
Can you see my shoulders? I think you can't. Yo, man. Yo, man. It's Icy.
Yeah, man.
What's up, man? I'm so happy to see you guys. You know, I was uh, rooting for you guys so badly, because I wanted, obviously, a Bhutanese team to go to the playoff stages, and you guys actually made it through. And I'm so happy that you guys have made it. How does it feel making it to the playoff stages as the only Bhutan team?
It feels nice because firstly we were 0-2. So after
Mhm.
that
We made it.
we made it to the playoffs. So yeah,
Come back.
yeah, come back.
It was beautiful. It was overall beautiful. This match was definitely exciting, and I was at the edge of the seat, because sometimes I thought, hey, the side of Fusion Esports, they're responding, especially Kuro Sensei on the Tigreal, man. But you guys were able to make so many great plays. And yo, the mage, I want to know, how do you make that play? 20 HP and you get a double kill. How do you do that? That is insane.
How do you make it? So, just an instinct, I guess.
Instinct. That is good job over here. And I think this time your synergy overall was great. Is your EXP laner with you, or was that your roamer?
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's up? Great job on the Lapu Lapu. Like, I was having a little bit of doubts, because you were going semi damage, right? But you did a great job going into the back line every moment. And also, I feel like you had the duty of clearing out the lanes and getting the wave management. Great job, because I think you guys noticed that obviously Lucky was trying to push the top lane, trying to backdoor you guys with a Benny QT. But of course, you guys didn't let it happen. Great map sense overall, and great performance. Of course, I'm right now just stating out the match, and I just want your guys. Honestly, I don't want to ask you guys too much questions, because I feel like. I just want to wish you guys the best. You've made it to the playoffs, so each of you, I feel like you should get the chance to say something. So, Wink, first of all, go ahead and say something to the audience. You guys are the winners after all.
Uh, uh, I think we are the underdogs right now. So
Absolutely, I agree.
please watch out for us. Yeah, and thank you, and thank you to all the supporter for supporting us. And I hope you guys keep supporting us till the very end. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Mage, you want to say anything? Go ahead. Each of you, say something. Feeling a little bit shy? It's all okay. It's all fine. But hey,
Say thank you for supporting us till now.
mhm.
Say, uh, that's all. Thank you.
And Explainer, you also say a few words.
Thank you everyone for supporting us, and thank you for this tournament. We got
Mhm.
more exposure to the sports scene, and we are very grateful for this tournament. We hope to do well in the playoffs. Thank you everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You have
Okay.
to
Lastly,
Romer. Bakshia.
oh, Romer is the cameraman. Yo, cameraman over here. Say a few words to your audience.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, man? Few words to the audience, of course.
Yeah, thank you for watching us, man. Appreciate you all. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay. That is good because I would usually ask you guys questions about like draft and stuff and everything, but we've went over those things right in your past interviews. Funny enough, I'm the one who's always with you guys in the interview. Pretty coincidental. Maybe I'm the lucky charm for you guys. I should cast all your games, okay? And make sure give me a share of your prize pool if that happens. Just but yeah, just kidding. And congratulations, Icy Paradise. You're the first Bhutan team to make it to the playoff stages and the only Bhutanese team. And obviously, wishing you guys the best. And of course, you gotta do your squad thing, your team. Go ahead. I'll join you guys.
Okay.
Yo.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You guys know what? You guys know what to say, right?
I forgot. I'm sorry because it's very hot in here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. You say false.
More energy. Oh, that. We need.
Go Sesi.
No, it's first. I see.
Okay. Okay. I see. Okay. I see. Okay. 2, 3. I see. Love you guys for coming over here into True Internationals and coming to these interviews, making it fun. I honestly think you guys are the most fun team. Wishing you guys the best in the playoff stages, and thank you for coming in here. Good luck, Icy Paradise, in the playoff air. We're going to be looking forward to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us, and yeah, we'll try our best. Thank you. And there.
Damn false. You actually remember what they say instead of what we're supposed to say. Pretty. Man, I my shoulders were a little bit down. I should have like like this. IC Kosisi. Okay. Gotta learn it. Gotta learn what that means. Fun fact, I was supposed to go to Bhutan, but they rejected me because I did not have voter ID. I did not have documentation. I did not know that you're supposed to take documentation, and I was actually very young. Okay, but yeah, that is something of a fun fact. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for the match between Icy Paradise and Fusion Esports, and we were able to see that Icy Paradise became the first and the only Bhutanese team to make it to the playoff stages, and the vibes and emotions were honestly there. I'm so happy that they made it because their vibes are immaculate. They seem like fun guys, chill dudes. Literally, because their team name is Icy, and we're looking forward to them in the playoff stages. They have already joined the fray, and let's see MSU versus Frenzy. The next match is going to be quite soon, so make sure you stay tuned on True Internationals on False JL channel, and make sure you subscribe and like the stream. We'll be right back again, and I hope it's not me alone.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the True International Switch stage. We are approaching that final day. That is day number 9. This is going to be the 2-2 bracket. Win or lose, take it all to the playoff stage or take it all home. And of course, we're going to be joined by our one and only, our crazy analysis, I should say. It's Miss Debbie joining me right here because we haven't been casting for quite a while, but sharing this, especially, I think this time is the first time we're sharing the casting desk with a webcam. So how are you feeling tonight, Debbie?
Yeah, I'm really excited because, like you mentioned, we haven't been casting together into international timing clashes, of course. But yeah, now that here we are together here, I think we're gonna be getting the synergy going on as well. You know, I'm looking forward to it. But you never know because we have 2 big teams right now: MSU Esports going against Frenzy. Who do you think are gonna win this?
Honestly, Frenzy, I don't think they got a coach, right? It is Filipino team. But do Filipino teams need a coach? That is the question. But MSU, they are ready. They have a very good roster as well. They even got a manager there. They even got a coach. Of course, Coach Raj is going to be the one drafting this scenario. But in terms of, let's see, in terms of advantage, kind of plays, MSU will have that advantage. But Frenzy, X, and 8IV, they've also been performing quite well. So it's like a 50-50 on both sides.
And I mean, whenever you see a Filipino team, right, I kind of reminded of Yisensin most of the time. They really love to play the Yisensin, man, and they are also very successful in that. But we'll never know because the Philippine teams, or not just the Filipino team, it's also the Indonesian teams who love banning and picking the Yisensin. So maybe this time around we might actually see it. But one thing's for sure is that Malaysia loves banning it too, so there's gonna be a crazy interaction we're gonna be seeing as well. But we'll never know what they're gonna be picking up because these players are no less. They know what they're gonna be doing. They know what they love. But one thing's for sure is that Lapu Lapu has been making a 100% appearance most of the time. It's banned, but it's always going to be picked, and that's where it gets similar with the Indian and Bhutan meta we're seeing right there. But other than that, there are so many variety from different reasons, and I really, really love casting for different reasons just because of this.
Damn. Very, very. We're lucky to be sharing this desk to cast this one hell of a variety of nation once again. But like you have said, it's always about the Lapu, isn't it, Debbie? Because you just quote unquote, Lapu is the way to go. Lapu, you pick Lapu, you win everything. But I'm hoping that quote comes because yesterday I was supporting you when I was casting Ray. If somebody picked Lapu, they're bound to win, and they lost. So I think you owe me on this one, Debbie.
It's just a personal preferences. Maybe I've seen a lot of Lapu that were winning, but it hasn't been 100% win actually. I've seen one Lapu and they lost though. But I'm still standing by it, man. Just pick that hero until it get nerfed to the ground. Because it have everything that you require for an XP laner as well. And I always prefer him over the Yuzong too, because he does have a lot of mobility as well if you compare to other heroes. And the CC, we'll never forget, always, most of the time, the Purify, I would say, you do have a billion Purify, right? It's always gonna be the one of the most important one when you go in team fights. It's not about the damage, it's about how you can move, how you can zone away. And that the Lapu has it, which the Yuzong does not, or most of the XP laners doesn't. That's why I'm just, biased towards the Lapu, and I love every team who uses Lapu, man. But yeah, sometimes I'm proved wrong. I mean, not mostly, but it's lesser. It have a good win rate, but not the best win rate as well. But I'm just always manifesting for a Lapu every game.
Yep. The tribal warrior, right? Comes to that, the tribal boys do got that energy in them. Yeah, the Lapu like you said has that purify. I think like his ultimate is a purify, and his second form of ultimate is also a purify. So it's just a very long purify. Maybe like we're talking like at least like 3 second to 2 second purify if you chain those ultimates right. And yes, the thing I love about Lapu is he scales well from early to late. Like there isn't really, you just pick up a 100 strike or maybe a War Axe, you're gonna be dealing a lot of damage during his Claymore stance or 200 stance, especially with the ultimate. At the same time, you also have sustain with the second skill that kind of stacks up, which is kind of buff. Damage reduction is crazy. Have that land shaker with a flicker, you can reposition yourself to kind of deal a massive CC blow against your opponents. So yeah, the more the better. Lapu is one hell of a warrior, I should say. But right now, MSU Esports, Malaysia versus Filipino team, right? Again, but Friends X N8IV, I'm pretty sure I casted them in like the first brackets, and they were dominating a lot with that Hayabusa. Consider the fact that the nerf of the Hayabusa has been impacting him, but him on the other hand, their jungler, I'm pretty sure I forgot his name now, sorry about that, but yeah, he was rocking. He was like, he got a GPM of 1000 as well. So if that happens, you're really snowballing. So on the side of MSU though, let's hope Coach Raf can cook up something. And if they in, and hopefully we can get him in the interview, ask him some question. I'm pretty sure Debbie would be excited for those analytic questions. And yes, sorry about abandoning you, Ray. I was being I'll just say I was being an idiot now. All right. Anyways, I'm pretty sure our boys and our players are ping testing right now. But before that, we do want to thank our sponsor, which is right here. Wait, hold up. Yeah, right.
Not me.
Great. Yeah, right here. There you guys see that logo, that beautiful logo. That is NextG Esports. Very good organization supporting our players for that sweet prize pool. True International Season 2, it was supposed to be like Season 1. It's just that we got more nation, but in terms of prize pool, NextG got us covered. So that is a massive W, like how Wands like to do it like this.
W, like this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's oddly trendy sometimes. But yeah, next thing, man, I'm reminded of the jerseys we were also talking about last time. Getting the jersey, man, and I'm really excited. And then one thing for sure is that even their own squad will be getting the jersey, and I'm gonna get one for myself.
Oh, that's good news. That is very much good news, Debbie. And you guys know, you guys know that NextG also have an esports team. They are called Seoul, I'm pretty sure. And guess what? Miss Debbie over here is their coach, their manager, their everything. So yeah, you know, she's a full-time, full-fledged, just like Coach Raf. So we got some big guns over here in the casting desk as well. So other than that, after this match, we're gonna be having India's last dance, LCF, the only remaining representative of India. Okay, they've gone through a lot. They're like 2-2 also right now. If they lost this, they're gonna have no more shot at the playoff stage. So that's something to consider about. But hopefully our players play as good as well. Coach Lentina as well. Hopefully she draft the best draft in her life against who was it again? Timor-Leste, Vini Vidi Vici. So yes, this is gonna be so interesting, don't you think, Debbie?
Yep, absolutely, and I think LCF have been rising a lot too. In comparison to the previous matches that they have been playing. One thing's for sure is that they always bring shocking factor to the table. Picking out the Saber jungle, I'm not sure about that, but I'm sure they had some kind of combination or some kind of stuff that they are planning. It really didn't work out, but now I think it actually might work out. But I'm lost. Where's Baldy, man? All I'm seeing is a river. Is that a sea? Is that ocean?
Hold up. Something's wrong with Mike. Technicality, guys. Technicality. I wasn't really prepared for this one. Like I said, I told you I was an idiot. Okay. Timing, guys. Okay. Timing. All right, I'll be back. Carry on, Debbie.
I'm pretty sure he loves to be bit. But yeah, talking about LCF, I mean, they have been going on good in this tournament so far, but now that they have the last chance, I think they might be able to do so. But yeah, we have to try to talk about this game right now because we are jumping into the drafting phase, ladies and gentlemen. We have MFU Esports versus Frenzy and AIP, and yep, we're gonna be seeing who they are gonna be banning in this best of 1 series, because MSU, they have the advantage to have the first pick, but still it can be a little tricky when you're going for the first pick because you kind of lose out onto most of the important heroes onto your kit as well. Right now though, the ban phase are in, and there are bans. Okay, there we go. Malaysia, man, they love banning the Yi Sun Shin, and yep, there we go. The Yi Sun Shin being banned away for Malaysia right now, and always gonna be there. Hi there. Hello, man. Did you went to get your? Where's your milk? I'm joking.
Debbie, I'm not a father. What the heck? All right, bloopers there.
No.
All right, what do we have here? Debbie? We got a Yishin off always.
I told you.
Yep. This is why she the goat. She the goat. Always got the predictions right. Oh, a phobia's ban on the other hand. Oh, speaking of a phobias, Debbie, we finally got the skin that we've been waiting for ages, right? The Maverick skin, which is a Starlight Premium right now, debuting today, of course, in 1:30 p.m. in India, of course. But yes, do grab that skin. Buy some Starlight 300 diamonds only. It's pretty good. And unlike those days where we have to buy it for like 550. But this time, yeah, this is the only good thing I think Moonton had give a W for us.
And I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be using it, but I'm surely gonna be buying it. You know, just for the looks.
What? So you just want to Benedetta Starlight again? Is that it?
Just for fun, just for the plot. But you know,
Alright.
the ban coming through for Frenzy is very understandable here. And they wanna take away the Matilda as much as possible, but look at the respect ban coming out from MSU Esports right here. You were talking about the Hayabusa onto the hands of Frenzies, right? And
Yeah.
there we go. They have to take this hero away because no matter what heroes is gonna be into, the 1000 gold per minute is something that a gold laner should do in a rare occasion, but this is a jungle. You're talking about the jungle on the Hayabusa.
Yep.
But yep, that's a pure respect ban.
Indeed. And here comes the Kimi ban to the side of MSU. I don't know how well a Kimi work in this meta anymore because of that certain nerf that she's getting tuned down a little bit. So decide maybe in the minds of Coach Raf, maybe it could pose a threat because we're talking about a Filipino team here, right? They can make everything work basically. So onto the side of Frenzy once again, they could be going for something, maybe targeting onto the jungle, or maybe not. They're gonna go for something that can sustain a lot. That's gonna be Uranus.
Uranus, man, always remind me of your mom, the player from India, right? But alright.
Too bad we didn't get Muff,
Muff,
right? Too bad we didn't get Muff
Yeah.
here.
Too bad. It could have been better. You know, Uranus already in the meta. He was also using it when it wasn't in the meta. But their Frenzy, they ban away 2 XP laners already, so they are trying to choke down the possibility of the XP laner coming through from the side of MSU Esports. But you can never choke down when there's so many heroes, and my favorite has been completely left open, but it's also completely left ignored. Lapu no first pick I see for MSU Esports, but they do want to prioritize onto this Baxia here, into the first pick. 3 lane flex coming through for MSU, but most of the time the Baxia is easily countered by the Xbox 2 and a carry as well. So maybe never mind, the carry is not the option. Okay, the 1-1 is still good for utility jungles.
No, very much true, because utility, if Baxia especially doesn't have the shield of unity, Iwanwa is gonna have her time of the life just using that swallow spat to get the crossbow of Tang and hopefully latch on to Baxia. But Baxia is very tanky in himself, so I don't think a full crossbow of Tang, even with maxed out full set of items, you can burst down a Baxia. But other than that, this just posed like a counter for a Granger, I should say, because I feel like 1-1 kind of works against a Granger. The Rhapsody is kind of very hard to hit against a moving target, especially if 1-1 here. But here comes some picks from the side of MSU. Coach Seraph is cooking. Like you said, Debbie is very happy with that second pick. Lapu here. And at the same time, they're getting something to kind of burst down. Now, this is going to be a Baxia roam or either a jungle. because like the Lapu is already there being picked in the EXP, but how are Frenzy gonna counter this?
Ah man, I think it's gonna be so hard. But the thing is, MSU they have their card straight, man. Because picking out the Farsa already, they just like the Farsa, man. Against the 1-1 especially, you just want to go for the 1-1 when you have, when you have a utility, but you just try to target the 1-1 when you want to go for the Farsa too. One thing that I'm sure that they could try to pick up is the Kadita too, if they want to counter the Farsa, because it's still a very, very good pick to go against when you are trying to go against a Farsa. But then again, Kadita in this kind of competition is still going to be hard because the Lapu is going to be unkillable as well as the Bugs. Yeah. But look at the pick coming from the side of Frenzy. They actually went to go for the Joe head, which is a kind of pick off. But then there's so many tanky heroes coming out from MSU already. 2 is a more than enough.
Very much true. Oh, it seems like we're getting a ban for counter of 1-1 on the side of Frenzy, because Iritel can kind of reposition herself maybe with a sprint. 1-1, it's kind of hard for a 1-1 to hit the weakness spot that is on like the backside, unless she hits the swallow spot, of course, but that is gonna be very unlikely. And MSU Esports are gonna be fortifying their bans with a Joy ban. Not quite sure, because especially a Joy in this tournament, I think it's like a 0% win rate, I'm pretty sure, because any team that picks up the Joy, it's like a sure lose.
Yep. And I think Joy has lost its popularity just because of the nerf, and when you have a high damage kind of assassins onto available steel, you really want to ignore the Joy. But I would love to think that it can also be a respect ban or a target ban, but there are so many options into the hands of Frenzy right now. And actually MSU are, if they want to put this Boxer into the room, they could actually go for the assassin just because there is a 1-1 already. But then we'll never know, because they can try to set up for another damage, a high damage into the goal, which can literally counter the 1-1, but it's still gonna be hard because the Iritel, like you said, is already banned away. Even the Moscow, they do not wanna really wanna go for the late game kind of competition too. And one thing I noticed about the Filipino team is that they do not really want to go for the late games. Even if they pick out their marksmen, it's highly competition to go for early to mid kind of marksman, and 1-1 is surely fitted for the mid game. So understanding the situation, I think this is one of the reasons why they banned away the Moskov too, because they do not want to see any kind of late game again. But look at the bans though, another jungle targeted ban.
Ooh, there it is. Devi is right on point. The fact that Selena just get picked, Selena doesn't perform well in the late game stage. A very double-edged sword in my opinion. So early to mid, this is where Selena shine, like how Debbie said. And most of these heroes as well, they all shine from early to mid game. Badang, I think, can shine in late game a bit, but it's kind of hard to pull out the initiation, especially if you don't have that. Oh, wait a minute. It seems like MSU Esports are still gonna be risking it all in the late game Granger here.
I like to think that MSU Esports, they are choked down and forced to pick up the Granger here,
Yeah,
because,
very true.
even though the Granger is more likely to go for the Purify, he can go for the Purify, but there's so many crowd controls coming out from the side of Frenzy, they can't go for one Purify. But look at that! Is this a DVP we're seeing? Means the Tar coming to play. MSU, what are they cooking? A Romancy and a jungle Boxer, man?
Or could be other way around, maybe a jungle Vincitar. I'm kind of feeling Coach Rev here, but yeah, the farming speed could be diabolical. But it's the fighter meta now, Debbie. The fighter meta, so anything fighter could work. But like you said, I think this Vincitar is solely for the Selena. If you hit that Abyssal Arrow, she's gonna be coming and crashing with her Abyssal Claws. But that King's Calling will be the one to keep her at bay. So it's good for the 1-1 as well, because the 1-1 can dash inside. Ooh, that is a Nolan coming into the side of Frenzy. Look at this.
Yeah.
We're getting... I don't think Nolan's a very good early game assassin, but when it comes to mid game to kind of like ish almost late game, he has a lot of burst potential, but it's gonna be hard to kind of burst down at like the late game because of course heroes scale a lot, hitting that level 15, lots of HP, and they can always take down a rose gold meteor, which can kind of negate the fraction that's going to be coming from the side of Nolan. So here we are, guys. We have Malaysia and Philippines once again for the clashing 2-2 score both sides, but the one winning will take the crown to the playoff stage, and the one who loses is gonna have that digital airport. Like I always said, Ray kind of like, I don't know why he just keeps saying something about my digital airport comment, but that'll be alright. I don't think he's even in the chat anymore, so I think I can say it. But here we are in Land of Dawn, good graphics any time of the day. But it's not, unfortunately, it's not the Dino map because the Dino map is have made that debut already. But look at that beautiful, beautiful white True International logo. But look at our players as well; they are ready. And in the casting desk, Borty and Debbie once again.
Yep, and look at that man, Mr. Vegeta. He's,
Yep.
you know, I've seen him into the XP, right? He was
Yep.
on the lab. Wait, I can't forget Lapu players, man. I think.
Oh yeah, something's happening
Yeah,
there.
sweet. Something's happening. I'm not sure why, but
Oh.
he's on the backside this time
Wait.
around. But there was a lot of damage into the XP. You know, this is the pressure you create when you have an early to mid kind of composition, and the Selena is definitely going to be signing into the early game. And I think this is a very great rotation too. But look at that stun.
Yeah, stun, but it's not gonna be mentioning what. But here comes the throw from Dokja here. But Baby, on the other hand, like we said, it's a round. That's a good flicker hook there, but it's not gonna be enough to take out the Selena just yet. So nobody gets traded out. They're looking very serious when it comes to giving the first blood.
You know, the jungle buzzing. Okay, that was a little bit of damage from Mika Boy on Mika Boy rather. You know, went into the early part. Okay, look at the there's a. I thought that there might be a little pressure onto the bot lane for the side of Renji, but they are actually pressuring onto the XP lane so as to give out the Badang a little bit of a leeway if they want to rotate for objective wise as well. And I think this is a very, very good kind of passing that they are taking right now. Just go for the same old passing. You do not really want to go for the triangle. But to the mid lane though, it's a lot of pressure coming up.
Baby in
Renji.
trouble. That is a connection and the first blood for Frenzy Esports to be grabbing on a Baby there on the top side as well. Of course, these EXP laners are going to be brawling their hearts out, and the turtle on the other hand is going to fall towards the side of Philippines once again. These guys, like you said, the mid to not the mid, but the early to mid game potential is way too much. Vegeta getting caught here. I don't know why he uses that wall, but he gets, you know, ejected out of there. The crossbow of tank surely is activated. That's gonna be another crossbow of tank towards the other side. Is gonna be Mikaboy in their hand. That docks down, gets taken out here. Mikaboy has fallen finally, and it's also gonna be another kill. And that is 3 kills to pick to the side of Philippines.
Oh my goodness, that was a lot of kills we're seeing so far. And look at the XP lane though. I really want to focus onto that first because the rotation made by Zephyr here onto the Selena was onto the top lane, not onto the gold lane because we want that. Oh,
That was
sheesh.
almost a kill, right? But thank God the flicker saved Fars there. But on the bot side, nothing much gonna happen. But this is the first MSU gank to the bot side. But it seems like Team Philippines are quite fair. But on the top side though, there's gonna be divergent ganks coming up. But Zephyr will be the one to claw her way out. Takes out Fars. And also there is a ruckus happening on the bot side. So both of the teams 0-5 on the leaderboards. And talking about gold lead as well. It's crazy.
And I don't think there's a way
Oh.
for MS.
Oh,
But
oh, that's a final burst, but Vegeta still gets it. But he gets thrown away, and also the connection comes in with the fisting. But the Vegeta on the other hand, he just gets that triple there. I repeat, Mr. Vegeta in the Dragon Ball series get that triple. But no, first will come in with the shutdown, takes out Zephyr, and that is, I'm pretty sure, a wipe. MSU Esports coming to clap back, gets that 5 kill right there, an instant replay for Debbie to analyze.
yeah, that was so perfect, man. Look at the throw coming in. Vegeta was giving a lot of pressure And the rotation made by Chocolate was perfectly on point, but there's nothing much you can't do when there is like the Puissance activated by a Baxia right there, and Vegeta so perfectly just gaining back all the momentum right there, and this may be a little bit of comeback they are looking for right now, but look at that.
That's a draw coming as well. It seems like Dokja is gonna get caught here. Farce will be want to thirst him down. Another fisting coming in, but the fisting is not gonna be enough as Mika Boy in the back line using the Death Sonata and the Rhapsody to thirst him down, and that is 2 deaths before they can take the turtle. Philippines are looking quite in a pickle here, I should say, but it seems like Super Doza on the other hand. Don't know why he did that, but he gets thirsted down by Mike. Or I'll say Mika Boy here. And look in the other end of bot side. Secret is trying to capitalize a lot when the teammates are not ganking his lane. But this mid is kind of done. Or maybe not. Mika Boy in trouble once again. Here comes the Feather Airstrike backside. Blasting out Zephyr out of existence. Farce is still there. He gets fisted out here. He gets taken out. Chocolate will be the one. The only thing you see is a fisted Chocolate.
Yep, I mean, this is a power of a Gwenzer, I would say, because he does have a lot of mobility in comparison to the 112. Ooh, that was a perfect stun on Chocolate right there, but they could not follow about it because Vegeta right now, he was actually behind into the XP level in comparison to Super Doja. But look at him now, he's got the level 9s already, and Doja is still on level 8. So he could come back, but Secret though spotted out. This is why I really like a Fossa against the 1-1. You get outranged so much, but then again, a good set coming out from the side of Frenzy though. The 1-1 might be unstoppable at this point, but Mika Boy here into this tournament so far, he have the best goal lead right now, and Secret hasn't been able to catch up.
Definitely catched up, but maybe he's just gonna be checking those bushes with that Spear of Glory, trying to glorify his name and redemption arc. Here comes another Abyssal Arrow, not going to find anyone though, but top side though, Super Doza reads the book, reads the situation to take that tier 2 on top side, but he leaves it. But for now, it's just gonna be Vegeta taking the lead. He's right there, but here comes the Feather Airstrike, baited airstrike I have to say, because Secret here, he knows how to bait.
Yep, that was a perfect on point also, but
wait, Doza, he's dashing, he's using something, but he gets caught on the 0.5 there. Follows up with a Kirito Gra there. He burst him down out of existence. But bot side here, what do we have for maybe mid side? The King's Calling being used, and that's gonna be a follow-up. Dokja gets taken out. Mika Boy with a mega kill. They're gonna go for more. Malaysia is gonna go for more. Another baited airstrike, but that is gonna be an arrow straight to the face of Kingra. Here comes the follow-up with the Spear of Glory, but not gonna be enough as both of the teams are looking for this turtle skirmish once again.
And this is definitely going to be a good one for MSU Esports right now, because they have a 1k goal lead. But look at that, Secret is just, he's got the items that he needed right now, and the jumping is faster than usual. But look at the turtle already taken the third one for MSU Esports. Vegeta, man, he's been trying to play as the tank, right? And able to outspend that much of a damage coming through, and even to the extent that he wait for his team to try to get to him, and they were able to do so. And Super Doza right now, I think it was a little bit of a bad movement coming out from him, just trying to go for the backlines when they are all over the place for MSU Esports. And the only way that I can see that Nolan will be working right now is if he goes for the split push, right? To go for the pushes onto the long lanes and try to look for flanks onto the backside though. But another baited Feather Airstrike, was it?
Yeah.
I like the name though. Kirito.
Baited airstrike.
Baited airstrike. Okay. Kirito Gra, man. How do you even pronounce it? It's like he's so excited for the Gra. Gra.
When it comes to Kirito, only thing I know, but never mind. That's gonna be a toast coming in. Baby is in trouble. I'm pretty sure Kirito Gra eats an Abyssal Arrow once again. Just straight precision to Mika Boy as well. Zephyr is onto the chase, but here comes a double ultimate here. Looking really good. Kirito Gra gets that killing spree. And looking at Malaysia, they are strong. Vegeta trying to pull a split push right here. He's getting a lot to mess with there. But Super Doza on the other hand, they are very aware that Doza couldn't do much against a utility, so they're using him for mobility and split push. Wait, bravest fighter to just be on the backside. That was a prediction or maybe a evasive bravest fighter. Not quite sure. So what just happened there?
No, that was a little bit of a bait coming through. But one thing I'm noticing is the bugs man. Vegeta have the glowing one, dude. And he
Oh,
might definitely go for the what is that? The ice to if it could work, right? But he's going for the leather jerkins, the brute force blade plate already breastplate. I mean, already into his hand as well, and the molten essence. This guy just want to go tanky, but he also want to go damage. It's just being hybrid at this point, and I think it really worked well when the Persons is popped too, and I don't think there will be a chance for the side of Frenzies to try to kill them, but the only way they could work it out is if the 1-1 does have the Demon Hunters, right, and he went for the Hazard Claws as well as the Wind Tucker, and I don't think there's going to be much of a penetration just yet, and they might have to wait a little bit longer to try to burst out onto this Mr. Baxia here, because I don't see anyone bursting him out, but Kirito though, very greedy with the damage. He went for the Holy Crystal, man, and when he get the combos right, I don't think the 1-1 will be able to survive that.
yeah. Just look at this MSU Esports, just purely doing something to assert that dominance over the fact that they have the map control, and yes, they take down the Lord. And on the other hand, Super Doza wasn't in position. He's more of like a guy who kind of takes out somebody when they're in the bushes. But of course, the Lord is going to march on the top side here. Philippines, Frenzy X and 8IV. They need to look for an opening. Possibly a mistake for MSU Esports. If not, this is going to cost them a lot, especially a debris for most of the turrets.
And the Lord is already taken again for MSU, and I don't think they will be able to defend the outer turrets here right now because it's going to be so hard. They do not have the very good clearance, and even though 1-1 is a marksman, we love this marksman, but if you compare it to clearance wise, it's just not the very best. And there's a Selena into the mid lane as well, so this is definitely not a good clear potential. They want to play for the mid game. They lose all the mid game potential that they have right now. And
Ooh, what was that? Secret takes out Mika Boy out of the blue. Didn't know how that happened, but it's gonna be first here. Using the bravest fighter, but Super Doja in position to kind of burst him down almost. But another fisting coming in from Chocolate. Gonna go for Baby, but Baby using that King's Calling to evade the walls of the Sagittarius. I'm pretty sure I forgot his name now, but he's from what was that again? Saint Seiya, yeah, Seiya Sagittarius. Oh, whoa, wait, Filipino. They're making that initiative here. Doja pops in that ejector, but didn't find anybody for that unstoppable force. Here comes the burst once again. The feathered airstrike, the baited airstrike once more. But Dokja, on the other hand, gonna be toasting one. Don't know why he toasts towards Baby, but of course, Frenzy, on the other hand, they know that they won't be able to burst down a Vegeta quite well, so I am very understanding of that.
Yeah, and that was, this is what, Frenzy wanted to do, right? Because when you have a competition that's kind of pick-offs, you just want to pick off because they do not have, they are not really in a competition where they can win onto this team fight. So that's exactly what Secret was doing, picking off the Granger in a perfect position right there. Mika Boy wasn't able to reply to it too, and I think he doesn't have the Wind of Nature as well, so that's the best thing you can get against the 1-1, except for the Winter Crown, of course, but he does not have that just yet, and I don't think he's just expecting it to, right? You do not see a 1-1 flying towards you when there's a lot to defend, and I think for Frenzy, they were taking a gamble, and that gamble really paid it off. So that Lord just became null to the point that it's actually the side of Frenzy who got a turret through that, though. But looking at the position of Doza right now, he have a lot of spacing, right? So maybe this time around he'll be able to camp well.
Yeah, hopefully the Lord's gonna be spawning, and yes, it just spawns there, makes its appearance to the Land of Dawn, but it's not an 18-minute Lord, so it's not gonna be a big chunky, buffed, protein buffed Lord. So, on the other hand though, Baby will be the one to make that initiative to pull the Lord towards the side of MSU Esports. Malaysia already making their play, but Filipino on their hand, there's gonna be a Filipino resistance right here, but it's just like we said, those double-edged stats from the Selena here. Even the Selena couldn't do much, especially when it's in like the late game phase. But here comes a hook. It misses. The Spear of Glory misses as well. But for now, it's gonna be a Lord dance most of the time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very long one at that too, and I think if it goes longer and there's no team fight going on for MSU, Frenzy might able to take this because they have the Selena who's gonna be such a nuisance, always spotting out the position and then the vision of the side of MSU esports right now, and they also have the pressure onto the bot lane, Bolty, and look at that.
Ooh, that is all a fight. That is a good King's Calling there. Being used. Kirito Gra seizes the opportunity to burst down the members of Filipinos. But Super Doza on the other hand gets that shutdown to Kirito Gra. No more baited airstrike, no more feather airstrike. Secret on the other hand comes in, takes clearance as well, making it a 2-for-2 trade. I repeat, a 2-for-2 trade. An instant replay as well.
Look at that, man. I think the butterfly is also working well for the Selena. Oh my goodness, so
Look at that
perfect.
King's Calling, man.
Oh my god. You know, the thing is, the King's Calling there, it was so perfectly on point, but the thing is, for MSU, they should be able to win the team fights, but the position of the no. Oh, what?
Whoa, what just happened? What just happened right there? I don't even get the glimpse of it because I have no idea there. What? I'll just say what by the end of the day, but
What?
in terms of Lord play though, that was crazy. Baby is getting caught over here. It seems like the Philippines are taking that initiative. Baby is almost gonna fall. I think he's gonna get taken out by the crossbow of Tang. Crossbow of securing the King's Glory, I should think. But as for now, that's Philippines stealing the Lord from the side of MSU as the Lord marches to the bot side. It's only up to Malaysia to defend this because this is an exposed inhibitor we're talking about, guys. So it's gonna be a bit hard for MSU to defend this.
And this is why the macro play coming out from the Philippines is always on top notch here because they do have the speed, like you mentioned, onto Super Doza right here, and he was able to do onto the far lane plays most of the time. That leads to a point where the bot lane is completely exposed, and MSU, they do not have any way to try to respond to this. But look at that though, the mid side might be taken again.
Yeah, that's a good hook coming in from Baby once again, but not enough to suppress a member of Philippines. Frenzy, I just say, but this is gonna be a melted Lord. Quite a good macro defense coming in, but still haven't lost those inhibitors, so I guess that's a very W defense coming in from MSU Esports. But in terms of health wise, their inhibitors are not looking healthy, but it's way better than getting some super minions coming.
Yeah, and you know, one thing I've noticed is that Kirito Gra, he isn't going for the anti heal because I think it's not absolutely necessary when you already have a Baxia, but he's gonna have to be amongst the vicinity of the opponents to try to get that anti heal going on for him too. Maybe he might actually need it, but the thing is though, he wanna go for the damage onto the first most of the time, so I think that's definitely what he went for as well. And two big items he built. Okay, there we go, the penetration on top of that. That's gonna be so worth it for the side of MSU. But the thing is, Frenzy, you know, the Selena Zephyr already got the Lantern as well as the going one, and on top of that he's got the Divine Glaives too. So that's a hell lot of penetration and 2 damage coming in onto the Selena as well. Once he landed the traps and the arrows, it's gonna be good. But look at that.
His break coming in and King's Calling and then making with that feather airstrike. Lots of bursting coming in, but Super Doja always in position to take down the artillery. Secret on the other hand drops in that crossbow of Tang. Double kills from both sides, but it's just gonna be Frenzy. They're sharing that double on their hands, but Mika Boy is shutting down Zephyr. That's a 1-to-4 trade. It's up to Mika Boy. I don't think he can make it though because Ejector is gonna be coming. Super Doza also will thirst him down. But this is Filipinos. This is Frenzy X NIV to take it to the playoffs. But in terms of Malaysia though, this is so unfortunate.
Man, I'm in a weak position right now. Look at that.
Oh, wait.
Well, never mind that because I'm pretty sure. Hey, wait. Do you wanna? Why is this?
As well.
That's not me. That's not me. That's not me.
Whoa,
That's
whoa.
not me. Oh,
Oh, blade armor.
Onesies here. Okay, never mind that. You know, one thing I'm definitely gonna be sure saying is that Philippines, they definitely won with the micro plays that they made right there. It was so perfectly on point, and they were able to do very well on what they do best with that kind of competition too. And you can see how much of a problem Super Doja have right onto the Nathan, onto the first phase, but he was able to do that into the late game too. He was able to get the macro plays going on. He was able to push onto the far lanes, just setting up for the slow push onto the bot lane when the Lord was contested. Yes, they did lose out the two members, but they won out onto the turret, and that lead to the bottom lane to be exposed again. This kind of brainy movement, right? It's just it's so fun to watch sometimes.
Very grainy, but the victory falls to the side that wins and breaks that crystal there, and it's gonna be Philippines, Frenzy X and IV. But I'm pretty sure the other Quantum Shadow, did they qualify, or are they like already out of the competition? Not quite sure yet, but if both the Filipino teams actually made it to playoff, it's gonna be one hell of a competition in the playoff stage, I should say. But so unfortunate for Malaysia. MSU, they kind of get the grasp of what they could make with the draft there, and it kind of works out most of the time. But it's just that I think they underestimate the Nolan a bit too much. The fact that the Nolan wasn't in the vision of MSU Esports. Every time the Federal Airstrike comes in, Super Doza was always in position to burst down the main source of damage. And that is what really works for Philippines, I just say. So, Debbie, any more remarks regarding that?
I think that was perfectly on point. He knows who to target, right, Super Doja, and even they are sure that they will not be winning any kind of team fights, because there was a lot going on in those team fights. There's a lot of crowd controls coming in. There's a Granger 3 hitting onto the backlines, and that is what they're going to be targeting, and they did exactly that. And even Dokja, he was able to get a lot of ejectors that was onto the perfect position too, and maybe that's the only reason why the draft worked for the side of the Philippines. They were able to make the pickoff worth it, and at one point also they weren't looking like they were gonna win, but man, secret happened, right? Secret happened.
Yeah, secret happened. I think he just speak of the devil appearance in that lobby right here, because I think Filipino Frenzy X and IV are ready for that interview section, and we're gonna be asking a lot of questions. I think Debbie is gonna ask a lot of questions when it comes to those plays, but once they get their cameras up, we will start the interview. But wow, that's actually very interesting. Wanwan's back. Wanwan's back, I should say. And actually, yeah, like you said, it's a very good counter for a Farsa, especially the fact that you can dash away, kind of make that prediction like bait. Most of the time, it's always a baited airstrike because of Wanwan's insane mobility. Or is it just secret? His secret to baited airstrikes.
Wait. Yeah, that has to be it. On rare occasions you see this, right? The one is pick up to try to no. The first one is pick up to try to burst the one and outrange him. But I think it's secret, man. He was able to jump all over the place, and that's at one point he wasn't able to get the hit. And of course, we cannot forget it was a teamwork, right? Yeah, you go distract the backlines, and the one have a space for him as well. But one thing is for sure is that solo kill. That solo kill, man. That was exactly what a solo kill is, and it comes down to the micro, right, when there is a solo kill. So it was so commendable for Secret to do that.
Yeah. They really know what to target as well, because Farsa is the only one that can shut down a Secret, even with the Rose Gold Meteor, right? But once Super Doza that grabs that opportunity, it's just so easy for Frenzy to just come in, clash down, thirst everybody down. And that is exactly what they did, especially in that last clash, where it was just a 1-to-4 trade. And it seems like, oh, wait, we're getting Secret on the cam here. Mr. Wanwan.
You gotta say hello, man. I think I'm becoming his friend.
Alright.
It's me. Man of the match. I see. That's, it's muted though.
That's muted.
I don't think you can hear us, by the way. Wait.
No.
Hello, Secret.
Hello.
Bro, man, what a splendid performance Team Frenzy gave to Malaysia right there. Damn, very commendable plays, especially the 1-1. You are always there to kind of bait out that feather airstrike. So, what makes you? What gives you the confidence to keep baiting out that feather airstrike?
1-1 has very high mobility, so
Yeah.
it makes it easy to dodge that feather hair strike. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? You know what you remind me of? You remind me of Kelra when it comes to dodging those, blows that's coming up, right? Man, that's why I almost called you the gold standard there. I did call you, but for this tournament, I could call you especially because, man, seeing those plays always give my heart racing. And yes, Debbie, anything you want to ask a secret over here?
Oh, I really want to ask, how did you get a solo kill against Granger, man? It was off cam, so we weren't able to see it. How did you do that?
So my jungler actually made Granger low, and I noticed in the map, so I immediately rotated and caught him off guard. So yeah, that's how I killed him off screen.
That's crazy macro
that was
communication coming up, right?
Yeah, that was I think they weren't even thinking that you would go there, right? Because you had a lord coming into the bot lane for you, and they would be like, yeah, they're gonna be defending that. It was such a good play coming out from you as well. And how did you even try to dodge all the first target? It will be still be a mystery for me. But yeah, you did answer to that already. I mean, man, you were just perfect onto this hero. Is this your comfort, or it kind of fits the situation?
Personally, I can play most marksmans, and I've been practicing some of them a lot. So I'd say yeah, she's somewhat of a comfort.
Oh.
Yeah, Kelra for a reason, right? Hero pool is
And
crazy, man. Hero pool is crazy.
Yeah, that's why. You never see this kind, right? Most of the time. It's amazing, man. It's amazing to see your team play so well. You have a pick-off composition. I really like the Joe hat and the 1-1 together. Whose idea was that, though?
So when we draft, my whole team drafts together. So we think, what can we do to complement each other, especially so to make plays.
It was a good decision too. The macro management, Mr. Doza, man, he was so good onto that as well. The Nolan playing so well. Even Doxa with the pickles, man. That's just, they were, if we have to talk about the game, it's just come down to everyone. Even they were winning into the XP too, so that was such an amazing game as well. You were losing kind of into the mid game, right? But you made a comeback with that 1-1 play that was so commendable. Did you think that you were gonna be losing that?
Excuse me, what was the question?
Oh, do you think that you were, gonna lose that game?
Personally, I have confidence in my team, so even if we were kind of behind, I still hold faith that, hey, we'll be able to pull through. So yeah.
Power of friendship, am I right?
Yeah, power of friendship. Optimism too, I would say.
Yeah.
Optimism too. Stay optimistic. You don't have to be pessimistic like me, I guess. But yeah,
Hey,
I think. I don't ask this much of a question, man. Maybe I'm
Crazy.
super cautious today. But I think that's gonna be what I'm gonna be asking. Thank you for having us, and thank you for appearing here.
Thank you.
Final questions, Secret. Final question before you go. You finally made it to the playoff stage. So who are you having a rivalry, or who would you want to meet in that playoff stage?
Personally, I think for me, my team as well, we'd like to get revenge against those teams that beat us. So yeah, we'd like to come back, and beat them back. So, yeah.
Splendid answer. Yep, and thank you for the interview section here, man.
Thank you.
Good cooperation. See you, man.
Nah, man.
Oh, that was actually a breeze. That interview actually go breeze, and yes, Secret was very good with English as well, right? No communication gap test for now. Yeah, that was good.
No legs as well. Oh man, this I think this is the only time I asked that much of a question.
Come on, you're improving, of course. You need to ask more. Special analysis. Gotta be at race level, right? Race also pretty good at asking questions.
They were, man, I can't. It was so commendable. At one point, it do look like the Malaysian has it, right? The mid game they were shining, they were popping, and I did not know that they will be able to come back actually, because the
Yeah.
only way that I can see the comeback was if the Dokja, the Zohead was able to pick off one of the most important heroes, especially the Granger. But why get the Dokja? Why get the Zohead when you have the one and the Nolan together to go into the back lines? And it's also, I wish we could see this more. The macro leveling, the macro defendant that they also had, and the slow builds, the slow push, the decision makings, everything was on point. So that must be why I have so many questions, man. And he answered it
Yeah.
so well. My doubts are all cleared. That was so good.
Yep, absolutely. And that concludes that second match for now. And next match, finally gonna get to see India. I don't think I'll be able to see India play in this casting desk anymore, because I'm pretty sure Seb is gonna replace me. But in terms of Debbie though, come in, gonna analyze Lakshmi Chitfan against Veni Vidi Vici. The final stands for both of those nations. Is Timor-Leste gonna get that comeback, or is it gonna be India, the sole representator, like we have already said, to make it off the playoffs? Because if they don't, I don't know. It's gonna be so embarrassing for me to cast again.
They would. Let them.
Yeah.
Let them. Let them
Yep,
have
yep.
their way. Maybe not the Saber jungle, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, let's just hope that Serrar don't pull up that M3 Mobazane again, right? Because there's just gives the fact that Serrar is not Mobazane, because they didn't pull that off. It was that was actually a massacre. It was slaughtering, right? Like they couldn't even do it. So
That was
painful
so
to watch. Yeah. But anyways, guys, it's gonna be, of course, the second half of the tournament series. The final match is gonna be coming after this. Stay tuned as Timor-Leste and India make that final clash for the playoff stage. It'll be interesting. It'll be very heart racing as well. And it is the casting desk. Bolty and Debbie will be signing off, and we'll be back in like a matter of 10 minutes. Once again, the curtains unfold for that final stage in the Swiss brackets or the Switch stage. Day number 9. This is the marking of the final stage of the Switch stage in the True International Season 2. And yes, lots of nation come, but lots of nation will go as well. So that's, wait, gotta hit or mistake there with the sentence, but we are back, guys. And yes, tonight India is gonna make his final stance against Timor-Leste. I'm pretty sure some Timor-Leste teams also made it through, but Timor-Leste for the team specific Veni Vidi Vici, they're gonna have their final stance as well. I mean, the best team will win here, and of course I'm supposed to be gone, but I missed you guys, so I'm back. Hey.
Yep. Good to have you back. I guess you're not gone, but yeah. But okay. Still, let's see what LCF can bring to us, right? I mean, we are surely focusing on them because they are the only team from India that are left to make their names and get their footprints right. So right now I can see that they are gonna be going against V3. They are not an easy team to go against, and I'm pretty sure they might not troll this time around. I'm not saying that the Saber pick is a troll. I'm just saying that they might be more serious than they were, because I haven't seen Saraman on the Saber, man, and he's more focused onto the Hayabusas, right? He's more focused on the Joys. He's more focused onto the utility sometimes. So yeah, this time around I think they'll be drafting in a best way possible, and so as even if they want to go away with style, right, they will be fashionably walking away. And even if they win, they will be, a win is a win, man. A win is a W either way. So I think maybe they'll be a change up into their draft as well, and more serious than usual.
Yep, a win is a win indeed. And of course, even if you get a bronze, if you still win, you still get stars. So win is a win. Let's say a pro player make it to the international stage. He was performing so bad, but his team fully carried him till like the grand finals. It's still a win for him. He's still gonna get that prize pool. So there's a saying like that, but he won't be appreciated most of the time. But still, win is a win. In terms of this world economy, yes. So, anyways, guys, drafting will be starting in just a jiffy here. But for now, looking at LCF here, we are very. You know what Serrar loves a lot when it comes to people always picking a utility against him. He likes to pull out that X-Borg, he likes that true damage, he likes that counter. And same with those days when Stark TZ was still KOL in India. When I go in, the Bumblebee skin was still released, and I go watch the stream. He's always playing the X-Borg on the jungle as well. So I say LCF are really like they have a past with X-Borg, and it really holds a very special thing in their hearts.
X-Borg, man, this time around, it's also ping friendly, right? It can if it's just you're gonna not lag most of the time. It's if you compare to the Assassin Xbox, it's so easy to play as well, even though their ping is gonna be bad too. So maybe there's a possibility that they could bring it out too. And recently I've been seeing him spamming the Xbox quite a lot, and of course the meta is HK is really sitting in a position where the utility is also gonna be there, and the assassin also gonna be there, and mostly the utility is used for safer days. And when you play against a team who love going for the utility, you usually go for the Xbox. And I think this is also the reason why Xbox are, Saramun loves to go for the Xbox too. And it has a lot of damage as well. But the downside of an Xbox is actually that you really need to have a good farm into the early game. You really need to go get that War X and be the true damage dealer that you were picking it to be. If not, then I think it's actually hard to maintain the Faraga armors when you have a lot of bestie heroes onto the opponent's side, especially the marksmen into the late game. They can literally burst down the Faraga armors, and look at that, you don't have no ult to use.
Yeah. But that's where very crucial for picking up the immortality, because it gives you 4 lives. But at the same time, right now the buff on Xborg is that he has a more frequent range of grabbing those canisters that falls out whenever you have that full stack of true damage bar onto the enemies. So it kind of makes a little bit of it kind of bridge the gap, because I'm pretty sure before it was like if the canisters fall, you can't pick them up when you blast. But instead, if you're in the vicinity of the enemy range, you can still pick them up. It's just gonna suck whenever the blast insanity blows. So that is a good thing about the next pork, I just say. But yes, like you said, you need the farm. If not, maybe go for wargs. And actually, I kind of like the immortality first on the export. No, it's just a personal preference because I like feeding.
Nah, man, you like feeding, of course, of course. I mean, I also get bronze with a winning side too, though. So who am I to judge? And we are here judging people, man. I think I'm joking. Jokes aside, though. Jokes aside, it's still a popular pick to say the least. So I'm guessing if the Bucks appears, if the Brethren appears, you are going to be seeing an export too. But we can't forget that. I mean, I can't forget that. No, Kadita is actually very good hero this time around. It's so bursty. Even in the early game, you're the full combination without the genius one yet. It's very burstable. So I think I'm not sure why she's not being lot here in the for other reasons, especially maybe they do not want to go for the burst heroes. They just want to play as a composition right together, like friendship. Oh my goodness, that was so.
Yeah. You know what?
Funny, but
You know why that Selena kind of works out for them instead of a Kadita? Because Selena is more of like a very safe distance, assassin mage, right? It's because even if you don't hit those abyssal arrows, there is no reason for you to go in and dive and secure the kill. But as for a Kadita, you need to be dragging your body there. If you don't, if you don't like hit the petrify or at least the turret, then it's gonna be like everybody on the other side just gonna be aiming their skills at you and eventually bursting you down. So there's no guarantees of you gonna be surviving there. I mean, there's a buff on the rough ways that you can't get suppressed anymore unless they have like a suppression hero, and no badangs fist breaks are gonna be canceling your ultimate anymore. But at the same time, you are gonna be in the depths of the waters, but when you come back, there's always going to be somebody catching you there. So that's just my opinion.
True. I think I it's just comes down to skills as well. The micro minutes coming through for teams, and most of the Indian teams love the box out already. But when we talk about mid lane, we cannot forget that Asuna has been consistently playing the Kimi into the mid lane, and he's so really good on that hero as well. And I know he really worked on that too. He kind of loved to play the continuous kind of damage as heroes, right? Because I think in the Indian tournaments also he was actually the only one who played the Chang'e, and that's also a continuous damage as well. Maybe that's his forte. But I really love him going for the bursty heroes too because he's so good on those as well. But we'll never know. It comes down to what the team wants to go and made up for. They have their strategies, they have their composition sets in, and it comes out to the situation as well and to the draft that you really want to see the opponent's draft as well. Last time also against MSU Esports, they were really doing good. It was just a little bit of lacking in the discipline that they lost right there. A little bit of how would I say, a stumble that made them lose the game. So this time around, maybe they are gonna be careful more than ever. So V3, what will they bring onto them? LCF needs to focus on that too. So given that their hero pool is never the problem, I think they can draft well this time around too.
Yeah, they're at least like a top 5 best teams in India, so there's a lot of expectation for them, especially to be in that international stage. They need to set standards since Tartarus is not here anymore. So this is basically the next Tartarus for this kind of tournament for India, I should say. So wow, like you're right. They have to draft their hearts out here. If not, this is like the final, the one last shot for LCF to redeem themselves. If not, wow, we're not gonna have India on the playoffs. It's gonna be saddening.
When we talk about playoffs, it's the Indonesian teams, man. 3 Indonesian teams already getting into the playoff, and we can see the Malaysia. Not the Malaysia. We had one Malaysia, we had one Laos, and we have 3 Indonesian teams, 2 Philippines right there. And yeah, we can see how much of a contest it is, how much of a action-filled games that we had most of the time. We cannot rule out the losing teams as well because they were perfectly playing so well. One example has to be the Fusion Esports, right? They were kind of getting to the point where they kind of became my favorite in this tournament so far, but you'll never see them again anymore, I guess. Yeah, they kind of become my favorite, man. The way they're playing is kind of a bit my eyes, I think.
Yep.
The way I want to see it, and unfortunate, but yeah, we'll never know because the top teams are also there and they really work their way here.
Yep. Yeah, like I've said, teams come and they will go. Especially most of the teams, they will go here. But in playoffs, though, hopefully, I think we're gonna start the playoff in like a best of 3, so that's gonna be interesting. More chances for the teams to not be really punished for the mistakes or the drafting they do, because there's always gonna be second chances. But in terms of the grand finals, of course, both of the teams are gonna be very premium teams, so things are gonna be best of 5. I'm pretty sure it's a best of 5, so. So it'll be 3 tries for both sides, or maybe it's gonna be 2-2 for both sides. But right now, though, LCF, like we said, Veni Vidi Vici, very underrated team, I should say. The fact that they can make it to 2-2 brackets as well, especially, I mean, I hope they're prepared for LCF as well because they have to study, right? Because if they lost here, their whole team goes down with them. So, in terms of, we've mentioned this a lot, and if they watch the live stream, we've mentioned a lot of key factors about India. The fact I feel like we are like nerfing our own nation because Veni Vidi Vici are just gonna be listening, okay? Because we're just giving intel to them at this point if they're watching. Like Serar Moon is very comfortable on the Xborg, and there's lots of stuff like you just give out Asuna as well. The fact that he likes to go Kiwi. Oh, we're cooked, Debbie. We're doing. I wish we'd be speaking of Veni Vidi Vici more, man. Not to be biased, though, but, a nation is a nation where we're born at. So, anyhow, even False also will be very proud of his teams, right? 3 Indonesian teams in the False JL channel. Bruh. Bang, if you're happy, replace my background with a blade armor.
Hey, melt that blade. Get melted like that.
Oh.
I mean, I will have to see 3 Indian teams also. I mean, but we'll be getting only 2. But I think LCF we gave them away so far. But it can also be a downside. A disadvantage for the opponent team as well. We did say they can force. We did say what they usually go for. But we'll never know what they're going to be putting it out because, like we already mentioned, they are very flexible. The hero pool is never a problem. And I think at one point also. It kind of sound. It may also kind of sound like it's just misleading too. You'll never know.
Yeah,
so maybe they'll be double guessing as well. One Stark always reminds me of his Irrital, man. It was you don't have the best Irrital games so far. The games that he used the Irrital, it's always him getting focus on poked at. And the damage also always dealt on him too, and most of the time he don't really do well on the Irrital. Not because of the skill set, it's because he does not have the right vision sometimes, and he does not have the capability to survive because his gang is full on. How you treat a gold laner, it's just like that. And Stark hasn't been having the greatest Irrital games as well. He wins, but sometimes with the lowest scores too, and this around maybe we can see a redemption as well.
Yeah, Stark TZ, am I right? This guy has been on the jungle. He has been on the gold lane as well. As far as I know, the last time I saw him was him playing jungle, and those time the Balmond jungle was a very very broken stages because he basically have a double retribution with his lethal counter, right? There wasn't any cut down on the turtle or the lord during that time in the patch, so it was a very good pick, and even the sustain the damage for it was just crazy. And other time I've also seen him play Bruno. I think he's pretty good with the Bruno as well. His map sense was insane, but I mean Bruno is also getting back some love on this meta. Maybe if you can pick that, that would be nice. But it's very situational, like I said. They can't be experimenting anymore because this is their final moments, or either to get that redemption or they're gonna be finally out of the stage. So it depends. But very underrated guy was it? Wait, who's the EX? Oh, Anti. Yeah, we never mentioned about Anti. This Anti is actually also a very OG player in terms of the Indian pro scene, right? He's, you know what his signature was during that time? Yeah, I think he played for Ryzen as well, or was it SDS? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and his Khalid was something else. His Khalid was something else.
I see. You know, he is a kind of player who adjusts with the metas, right?
Yeah.
Whether it may be utility meta he go for, or whether it may be damage experience he goes for, he kind of cooks a lot. And one thing I also noticed about him is that when he plays the Phobias, he doesn't die. I mean, he dies, but he can't die very easily. This guy is so comfortable on the Phobias as well. And you know, every meta, every season change, every draft change, every hero buff nerf, he always have one kind of his signature all the time appearing, so you cannot count him out. And I think I would also like to think that he's also one of the best XP laners we have in India so far. And of course, because of his utilities as well as the damage and the flexibility that he always have. And one thing's for sure is that when they snowball, right, for LCF, Anti just doesn't die. He just doesn't throw. He don't have a he don't lose his discipline. That's what I want to say. He have a lot of patience as well. I'm not sure about real life, but in his game life.
Damn, that was savage, David. That was savage.
He might. I mean, I don't know him personally, so we'll never know. But game life, though, I've watched him quite a lot, so I'm just gonna say that he's very disciplined. It's so hard to break down his mental sometimes.
Yeah, if he's very disciplined in the game, the IRL side might say otherwise. But anyways, he's been in the scene for a very long time, so I think experience is what shapes him to what he is now. The experience being in different teams. Was he in IGN before as well?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was, right? Yeah, he's been through a lot of teams, a lot of different people as well. So I'm pretty sure he's mature enough to get his, let's say, like a big elderly big brother vibe, any teams he joins. That's why he didn't do nothing. He didn't even panic. That's why he's always performing good. So anyways, drafting actually taking pretty long, I'm not gonna lie. I guess LCF didn't find the good ping server again because, guys, India is one of those regions where it's very hard, okay? Like having like just like the North America have like the West and the something. It's the same with India as well. We have like 3 servers here. So LCF particularly are like in the Mumbai server, not the Delhi. Delhi is like the main capital of India, but Mumbai is actually a very I say weird server actually, because it's kind of hard to get competition in Mumbai server, because even if you don't get a ping, we are from Bengal, West Bengal, and let's say one of our friends is from Mumbai, we go there for ranking, it's basically a free star. But for LCF, they're like one of those top teams, it's gonna be very hard for them to get competition. But the real competition really lies on like when they come to West Bengal server, because Tartarus right now, arguably the best team of India, are from West Bengal server. So they want the competition to kind of scrim against them, but they have to compromise with them not having their main server for scrims and all. So it's really hard for these guys to kind of adjust the fact that they have some players from West, they have some players from Mumbai. So yeah, that's just want to point that out.
That's why it's always important, right, to have a good ping, and a LAN events are shining through because of that. You just have the same ping, and it all comes down to skill. And you won't have an excuse like, I was lagging. That's not gonna be the excuse. But yeah, this time around, I think we are always gonna be doing the ping test, because we want the best experience for our players here. They're not in the same region, of course. It's gonna be a little bit challenging to have a common ground into the ping wise as well, so we are taking a little bit of time. And even if you guys are fed up of us, we are gonna be staying here especially for a long time, I guess. But yep, V3 though, man, I've seen them play, right? I've seen
Yeah.
them appearing most of the time very well, and they love having the early game. They love having to go for the early game as well. But into the mid part of the game, they kind of falls off. Maybe kind of the communication part as well. I'm not sure which one it's gonna be, but the thing is, they do really well into the early game. They do really well into the
What?
Hellguard just out there.
Whoa, what happened?
Dark Knight Falls, Hellguard.
Night falls. Let the killing begin. Sorry about that, guys.
Right, man. Alright, wait. Back to the point. Okay. V3, they really love going for the early game, but then again, they kind of fall off into the mid part of this game. I'm not usually sure why it happens, but then maybe I feel like this time around they will
Hero
try to-
resurrected.
Okay, there we go. The resurrection. I think Rafaela happened to you, I guess. Divine resurrection.
Yeah. Yep.
Passive.
Broken passive.
Broken passive, man. You thought you pick off someone and then they appear again into that Lord fight.
Imagine if that resurrection was on spot. That's it's gonna make it even
and
broken.
then you rise up from that place.
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's gonna be too broken. Or it can also have a downside, right? If you got into between the enemies and you got resurrected into the spot and you'll die again.
Not only that, if it's on like the spot resurrection, we could say it'll have an immortality effect. You're not gonna get like 100% of your HP back. Maybe like 30, 50. So yeah, that'll balance things out.
But still, they know what they're doing, right? They just
No.
come back from the base, and yeah, the 60 seconds cooldown, your death timer is not going to be worth it anymore. But yeah, I thought that we might see more Rafaela in tournaments, right? But I don't think we have seen it. We have seen it in the teams. But oh my goodness,
My
what a
God.
nice save from Falls right there. Look at
Yep.
this. We are in the
WW
drafting
bound.
phase. W bound.
Yep, indeed. Wait, I'm seeing Coach Ram. Never mind. Let's pretend that never happens. But here, right now, guys, we are seeing the Vici are gonna have that first ban as well, and LCF will also make the call to ban out the pick or ban Matilda Airlines. And yes, Fatal Airstrike, always a hit or miss, but it's always like when it comes to safer, damage output. This female right here, this blind female right here. Always crazy. Oh, it seems like they've seen the last match what a 1-1 Secret can do on the 1-1. Didn't actually say that Secret is on last match fun, but the possibility they have to narrow it down.
And banding together the heroes that can counter each other as well most of the time. The first out wins out, but I think Vici they could have utilized the Versa for themselves, but they opt to ban it away, denying one mid laner from the side of LCF. It looks like a composition where they wanna go for the utility jungle, because mostly you ban out the carry or the 1-1-2 if you wanna go for the utility. So I think it has to be a passing around that. But for LCF though, they always stick to their bans, right? They are very, very loyal to these two bans. They always take away the Matilda and the Phobias when they are onto the red side, and they always try to pick out the Phobias for themselves when they are onto the blue side. So this is a understandable situation as well for them. But Kimmy ban, oh wait, did they know? Do they know?
Damn, Debbie, they're listening to you, okay? You need to shush that. But like you said, yeah, that Phobia's pick or ban was actually a very nice highlight there, because these days it's the fighter meta, and of course teams are always going to be prioritizing and ganking the EXP lane. So and like you said, NT is also very comfortable right now in this meta with the Phobia, so they're always looking for NT's comfort, like, because they know that NT could always be their win factor. So if he can kind of snowball on the EXP lane, of course you're gonna have a very bruised time on the duration of the game. But here comes whoa box Kumar versus Fedrin.
This land is our homeland, and it will
Wait,
soon
never
be
mind.
our burial
Okay,
ground.
oh my god, there we go. Mr. Love appearing into the hands of Mr. NT2. And I think V3, I had thought that they wanna go for the utility, of course, because they banned the 1/1, right? They banned the Kimmy. They want a utility. But first pick Fredrin is something I'm not pretty fond of. But maybe they have an idea for themselves. So this comes to a time where they're gonna be going if they wanna go for the supports or if they wanna go for a setups, because the Fredrin lacks the sustain that you're gonna be needing. No, not the sustain, the heals that you're gonna be needing. But look at that, we were talking about the Irithel, and Stark hasn't have the best Irithel against so far, and this time around he's gonna go against the Irithel into the hands of V3 here. But for LCF though, is this gonna be a Baxia jungle or a roam Baxia?
They're looking at the Fedrin there. Maybe Sarar can pull up his export any time of the day, but I guess it could be safer if you go the utility Baxia. But there is the race wife right there, so that could pose a huge threat because you get picked up. Those chains damage is gonna be coming, is gonna be very hard. But this pick maybe can determine the outplay, but it's probably gonna be like a mid lane pick, I'm pretty sure. If it's a mid lane, it's probably gonna be a utility jungle this side of LCF. But oh, whoa, Stark! Ixia debut in the True International. This is huge, Debbie. This is huge.
He's the only one I know playing the Ixia in tournaments, man. Eventually, he was, I think the last time I saw that Ixia was from WFA. It was in the hands of Mr. Stark himself. So, Mr. Stark, are you feeling good?
Actually, Ixia's buff and her damage capability it's very high. Like there's a bit of a increase with the width of the Starlium beam. So yeah, as an Ixia player myself, like I have a better win rate with Ixia more than Clint. So yeah. But yeah, they do have. Look, they do have a backline, right? I mean, not backline, but they do have a good front line, so Ichi can kind of work. And look at the side of Vici. They don't have somebody that can go on like the straight backline. They're using a Jushin, so that Jushin is not gonna go Crimson Beacon in the backline, right? So this is actually a very valid pick to the side of LCF, unless Vici comes up with an EXP backline dive, maybe like an Arlot or maybe like something else, maybe like a Benedetta also.
Maybe a choke too. Oh nah, that's gonna be too nasty, man. It's gonna be too nasty. Yeah, because I think it can also be valid to go for the choke too, right? Because the Ixia always have to go for the flickers, not the purifiers. But in this kind of meta where the XP laners are so strong, do you wanna go a choke against a Lapu also? That has to be something we need to focus on as well. But the geek ban coming through for Vici. They really want a good set, huh? So maybe a Minotaur might happen, or even a Tigreal, we'll never know, because for the side of LCM, they are narrowing down a lot of XP laners. But for they're choking them.
Mud. Oh, gonna be the. But picking us up. So it's gonna be. It's very.
Even when all is forlorn.
So does because in comparison to the Ixia, who's so stand like just trying to get the damage dealt and done. Meanwhile, the air is down.
What?
seems.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Wait.
Vexana.
Vexana against a Jushin is, I would say, the best. Always pokes her down by the end of the day. If she doesn't hit her soul grip or death grip, it's gotta be very hard. But this is Asuna we're talking about. Maybe we can have trust on Asuna, but oh, this last pick though, it has to be a roam or either. I think it's best if they can. No, I won't. I don't know. We're very in a tight spot here, and like, the Minotaur there. Let
That's good.
prepare. Go. Interesting though. So it's gonna be. What do you want?
I would like to think he loves the Franco, and the reason why they want to go for the comfort instead. Situational, but there's a cancellation coming soon. The Minotaur already was so old because they banned the. It's all combination, but the Frederick combination they usually do a little bit of damage for set straight and you get banned though.
Yeah, most of the time, right? Maybe like a. Keeping that aside, we're banned last in the True International Season 2 with they or it could be the Debbie and Boki, and Debbie is
Yeah, I can't see it just a little bit, but my goodness, I'm to be one specific hero that he assassin. He has to be good on one as well. Looking at the I really like both of these teams' composition, especially the crowd control coming out from the side of V3 though. But onto the XP lane, okay, look at that poke.
these of them, which both of their skills can amplify. So onto the mid side though, we're finally seeing Asuna though, playing it very safe actually, which is kind of good because you don't want to get. Oh, here comes a 1.5 from Seramo. Already some stuff happening here. That first blood goes to Asuna. India gets it with that curse blast. They pull in Seramo, and also don't forget that Praiser is here, but he's not gonna be enough to appraise a lot. And speaking of the turtle spawning here on the top side, there's more, you know. Something happening here. Rudy is gonna go for that wasteland stomp again. It's gonna be the turtle skirmish, but for the two reinforcements comes into the backside. We see a flicker from B, but that's gonna be retribution plays coming from Vici over here. They've been smashed out in Sarar Moon. Peanut also takes down that Franco, and this is looking good for the side of Vici so far.
Yep, and a very great start as well. They did manage to take out 1 kill for LCF, but then again, when you lose out the turtle and 2 kills, that's not gonna be the best thing so far. And more, if we look at the composition of LCF right now, they have the
look at that. Trouble on the top side. That is, I always want to say it, the GB. I'm not gonna say the full word, but that was a GB on the top side. Anti was late to kind of save that Asuna. There's more happening here because Sarar Moon is gonna use those shield to kind of back it out. Shield of utility come here, not unity anymore. It's utility because Sarah is just going full utility. Yeah.
And it's not gonna be the damage box that we're gonna be seeing, right? Because we did see into the first game and it made them lose. Oh my goodness! And the There was a lot of damage coming through from Mr. V right here into the area that he does have the concussive blast, which made him a little bit better in the clearance as well. And he's just going to be cutting onto the wave to be able to rotate on time for the turtle right now. And I think LCF might eventually rid this out, and LT might also appear here. But interesting choice for Saraman to use out the retribution right there to try to steal that cam in order to have the level lead that he much required. 6 levels. Oh, look at that.
Final slash, Serrar Moon getting caught in the bits. But for now, you still survive because you have the poisons to kind of reduce the damage. And of course, that is one very beautiful Baxia. But it's not going to be enough to save him from diving the mid bush.
You know, that was a bait for V3 to do. They wanna bait at least one spell or one ultimate out before the spawn.
Serrar's in trouble. They did take out Ringo on the bot side, but Serrar is very much in trouble. He's gonna get bursted down here. Avriel, on the other hand, likes to use that appraiser. He likes to play it off. He still haven't dropped the appraiser's ref. He might as well drop it here, but not enough damage. Asuna is still alive. They take out V, and that's gonna be a trade. A 1-2 trade actually in favor of Timor-Leste. And yes, they're going to back it off. But if we look at the instant replay, there are a lot of diversion play coming in. Look at that good hook coming in from Rudeas there, forcing out this bloody hunt as well. But still, Timor-Leste still got the better trade.
There might be something here in the real-time view though. There was a lot of contest right there. You know, this is also maybe this might be a free turtle though.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Avriel with the free turtle right there. No contest coming out from Scramble whatsoever.
Flicker V, final slash coming in the backside. There is a full barrage, but not enough because everybody from Timor-Leste are crumbling down on Lakshmi Chit Fun. And the fact that Stark, that was a barrage to kind of fortify himself, but in the back line you did see that there was always somebody with the Despair Stomp coming up as well. There is some Troin coming up to the right, but Anti will be run to by Dust again. But look at this straight up play coming in from Timor-Leste though. They are very confident they lose that guy though. Then Ringo will take out Sirarmu once again. Even if they lose somebody, they're always trading out. But I guess like they overstayed their welcome, but they're still in the gold lead, so I guess that's fine.
That's fine. The mid lane turret also gone already, so even if they lose it out, it was still a gain for the side of V3 though. So definitely LCF though, they really need to have a little bit of a momentum here. But you do not really have a good momentum when you have a Franco. You just are all for the surprise attack so far. Rudius already getting the Winter Crown. He does not have the Bloody Hunt just yet, so I don't think they will be going fully onto this gang onto the bot lane though. But one thing that they gained as a compensation was the turret onto the top lane. That has to be the only thing that they're gaining. But right now though, V and XP laner and gold lane together in one place, because this is a sitter XP laner we have right now. But look at the Minotaur though.
That is a Despair Stomp coming up, knocking up 2 for LCF, but not enough to just pursue them completely. And there's also going to be a tier 1 on the boss side, falling to the Breeze mate already to the side of LCF. Here comes more. That's a Winter Crown for Rudeas though, but will he survive this onslaught coming up? But some change is coming up as Stark TZ get the kill onto the Minotaur. Ringo on the other hand trades it out with a Ringo. A roam for roam trade, but Sirarmu still wants to find somebody. Ringo is kind of dashing it out a lot, but will this be enough? Maybe, but Pivo in the back line takes out Stark TZ, but Ringo will be the one to survive. And here comes the onslaught coming in from the Appraiser himself once again. He doesn't have that Appraiser's wrap, but Pivo QT, this guy is rocking everything. He's like basically controlling the map at this point.
Yeah. And I don't think there's a response coming out from the side of LCF to this Jushin right there, because Pivot QT is always onto the backlines. He's more, when you see a Jushin, you are more likely to see them focusing onto the tanky jungles, the tanky frontliners, but he's more focusing onto the backlines. And it was the second time already taking down the Stark DZ here onto the Melis, onto this Ixia, right? So maybe they need to have an answer for this. NT has, popped up the Bravest Fighter already just before the start of the team fights too, so it was still a well-made decision for the side of V3 to go for. And they were waiting for this war to start, right? I think so. Now No
Do not
contest
see
coming up
that?
from LCF.
Do you not see that, Debbie? Rudeus just floors that flicker hook there, and then that's a wasted resource right there. I don't know, maybe it was predicting too much, but it couldn't favor him because there was somebody in the bush, right? But didn't quite hit that spot where they can get the pickoffs there. But that's going to be a lord to the side of Timor-Leste once again. Vici are looking healthy. They're in the gold lead as well, a lot actually. So 13-6 on the leaderboard. We're entering that 8-minute mark. That lord is marching down the bot side though. Might be enough to pop out that holy grail for the bot inhibitor of LCF. It seems like Vici are working on this top side here, but there's another miss hook from Rudeus. That is a good, Terrify coming in from Asuna, but will it be enough to kind of save this tier 2? No.
Nope. It's definitely gonna be taken. The lore is still very up and healthy. It's just marching down, and I think this is what the lead is gonna be taking for the side of V3 here. Because even if you compare to the goal leaders right now, already the level gap is too much. Got the chance. Oh!
V, that was a good final slash to poke down Rudeus down out of the safe fortification of LCF. And yes, this is looking really good for Vici because they don't have somebody to kind of pull them inside the base for a potential pickoff. Looking bad for India at this point. Man, we've done cursed them, Debbie. We've done cursed them.
Yeah, we've done cursed. Sorry. Apologies for the Indian teams right there. But we'll never know, right? Because it all comes down to execution. And also, that was me trying to save us. But we'll never know what's gonna be happening because the full barrage, the full barrage is still there if there's a good setup. But the engagement coming out from the Minotaur onto the side of V2 is just too much for them. Even if there's a Bloody Hand coming. Oh, look at that!
Oh, there's coming in. That is a Minotaur's Rage dropping as well. But it seems like Timor-Leste likes to force themselves in. Inhibitor 2 down from the bot side and the mid side, but more happening here. That's a Serarmoon tanking a lot, or is it Anti?
Oh.
Yes, Anti is there, but Anti and Stark are falling. Nobody to defend these upcoming Rav. But here comes the Rav. The suppression follows up, and also the stomp to stop the suppression. A lot of stopping happening. Pivot QT will be the one to get that MVP, I'm pretty sure, because nobody from LCF have that hero to kind of counter the Jushin. And this is it for India. Quite unfortunate, but Timor-Leste made a best team. It's gonna win, but like I said, LCF, it's very hard for India to get that, very comfortable ping. So that's also an excuse that we can drop there as an but oh boy. No India for the playoff stage. Come on, bro.
No. So unfortunate, but Vici, they are playing so well, man. Every fight they took, every way they were playing, it's just too good most of the time, and maybe it's the ping also is the problem. But yeah, it's gonna be really hard to play any heroes you want when you have a ping problem. Like you either go for the utility or the fighters into the jungle as well, and immobile hero like the Ixa also works too. You cannot really play an Irisal in bad ping also. So I think you can give them that as a leeway, an advantage. But yep, even we can't take away the prize, the championship from Vici as well, because they were playing so good. The decision makings, the way they were forcing themselves around the map too. Just they were always that meme where the girl was the girl or the boy was standing in the middle and surrounded by no. I was the first guy. It was like you can see how Asuna was treated, right? How
top lane, right?
It was just so. It happens so often. It just always reminded me of that. But yeah, it was always a good cause for the side of V3. Most of the time they are winning out on ganks as well, and no response whatsoever coming up on the side of LCF. If they could hold the late game, it could have worked. But it's still gonna be hard because they do not have the massive crowd control that the Minotaur have.
Yeah, crazy. This is like the only time that I've seen a Minotaur work against a team comp like that. Actually, of course, it's gonna work, but whenever a Minotaur is like, I wouldn't say he's back in the meta. He's more like a pocket pick, and a pocket pick indeed. They were able to pocket their way through LCS pocket and just pickpocket them. That's a lot of pickpockets, though. Wow. Anyways, guys, Timor-Leste, Vici are gonna have that sweet spot, their final slot into the playoff seats. And yes, they will be representing their very, very lovable country, Timor-Leste. And yes, that is it for India, though. Still kind of sad and disappointed, but as casters, we don't want to be that biased, but we just feel the grievances of what India is gonna feel with this one. So, anyways, guys, that is that final. The Swiss stage officially ends here, and we want to thank you all for supporting till this day of the day number 9, the Swiss stage. So we're gonna start having the playoffs from tomorrow, I'm pretty sure, and this is gonna be starting with the best of 3 series. Hopefully, Sarash also can start coming here to cast because better teams are gonna be here, and I'm hoping for his very fast recovery. Even once also, we do wanna keep our stuff there because I'm pretty sure he was also lots of stuff happening in his side. So hopefully our casters can finally be active because you know what happened, Dev. You know what happened most of the time. Solo casting and stuff like that, bruh. Yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. That's gonna conclude everything. Oh, wait. I shouldn't be saying that, right? Because we do have the interview. Yes, we do have the interview. Or the post match, of course.
Look at that,
I actually didn't see this in like the previous match. That's why I was like, are we not gonna have the post match anymore? But yes, MVP grabbed by Evriel instead of Pivot QT. Interesting, Debbie.
Ah, he went for the support emblem actually. The support emblem under the Fredrin, a good cooldown too. Wait, he's just going for the cooldowns, man. He just want a taunts going on, and he just don't want anyone to be missing out. And MVP is definitely deserving at this point. Pivot QT was actually deserving of it as well. I think everyone in the side of Vici was deserving of this because they did a lot of work. And one thing I really like this time around building out onto the rapid burst is that it does give a healing. It heals our XP because it now have the necklace that give healing potential. So into the early game you're not as squishy because one of the squishiest tank has to be the Minotaur so far, and I think I really like the choice he go for. He do not want to completely gank all the time. He want to heal too, and he did just that. Even getting to the point that he bought the Flask of Oasis, and that was a lot helpful for them as well. With the victory, they were able to do streamlets with this kind of composition too. And whenever the flicker was available for the Minotaur, there's always a set, and Minotaur is kind of a double gain for you. Most of the time you're gonna be setting, you're gonna be disengaging, and that is what the worst is. But look at this though, the carry is Asuna.
Yeah, very, very good. The rich guy from Ringo. The carry Asuna. Asuna with the carry. That's crazy. 52 damage dealt. Yes, of course, he's gonna have lots of that Curse Blast coming up. Sandbag for Serrar Moon. Of course, he's a sandbag because you have 2 shields. Of course, you have to be the sandbag, right?
Of course.
Best wingman. It's gonna go to Van der Dutch here. And they're looking good. But I'd like to say a little bit of comment on the Fedrin going with that, what did I say? That support emblem, like we said. They're Vici, they really actually go for the utility pick, which kind of, won't really fortify Fedrin's healing. So they want to pick that support emblem because it have like a little bit of a healing boost, right? So they top it off with a support / semi-tank like a Minotaur that kind of complements itself. He even picked that Flask of Oasis, boosting the healing and sustain of the Fedrin overall. That's why it works, I think. A little bit of analysis on my side.
Yeah, it's true. I think that also has to be the reason. Look at the match duration though. This is the second fastest match I've seen. 10:52. The fastest match was KKV Sports.
Yeah.
It was 9:52, man. But I think we're gonna be going for the interview. The players interviewed as well. They're gonna be signing. I think we're seeing a familiar face.
Yeah. CEO interview. Am I right? How's it going, sir? Oh, you're muted, sir.
Yes, it is.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh.
Good night. Good evening, everybody. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Doing fantastic, actually. So, Debbie, you have anything to ask in our good start here, depending on the draft of Vici.
Yeah, I just wanna ask. You banned out the Diggy, right? So you really wanted to go for the Minotaur, but why did you choose the Minotaur? I wanna ask that. For real.
We banned the Digi because they picked Ixia. We just aware Digi Ixia, it's good combo. That's why we banned Digi. Like.
You do not have a lot of dive, right? No one to answer the Ixia, but you are still able to do that. Was it the set from the Minotaurs most of the time? And do you want him to put him to crowd control onto Ixia most of the time, or you just know that your goal lane will be able to play against the Ixia?
Yeah, because we have also Irritel with sprint, right? Then Irritel can flank you. There's also we have Arlot. Arlot can flicker and final slash, so that's why it's no problem Ixia for us.
True. It's very true. That was like, I really admire your draft, man, from the start. The Fredin pick into the very first pick. Are you guys confident on the Fredrin?
Yeah, we very confident, but the one reason we pick Fredin is our team also not good for ping, right? We play ping 90, 100. That's why if we play assassin, we cannot play assassin. That's why we first pick we draft for jungler utility like that.
Oh, very understandable, man. Ping matters a lot, right? Because assassins you can't play well with those leggings, and of course it's very understandable. Even LCF had the utility, right? So yep, I guess you answered all my questions. Bolty can take.
Yeah. All right, sir. So you guys have finally qualified for the playoff stage starting from tomorrow. How is your team feeling about that? And is there any nations that you would want to be facing on the playoff stage?
Yeah, my team feeling is very good. I very prepared for the playoff. We very confident that we will going to playoff, and that team we want to face is Cosmic Frog because in first match we lost with them. We want to beat them and want to show who are Benefit Future Esport.
Yes. Revenge arc, am I right?
Revenge arc, villain arc. I would like to see that.
Redemption arc also. All right, then that sums up everything for the interview session here. Thank you so much, sir, for representing CEO of Vici, guys, right here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Right.
It's always fun to have interviews, man, because most of the time there are insights, right? I was like I saw only one pass, like they were 2 steps ahead, right? I was like, okay, they might want to go for a high crowd control. What? High crowd control when they bend the Diggy, but they were actually seeing that when they exasperate together with the Diggy, it's actually very good, right? So they were right. Yeah, they do not want to dig into their hands. So these kind of insights we get from the interviews most of the time is just making us learn a lot more. And and I think the audience also know now that the ping is always the issue for both of the teams. Even LCF had that, even V3 have that, so they have to go not for the assassins but for the Fredrin. So that sums it up, I guess.
Yep, very, very, very much true, but right now, I feel like there's gonna be another interesting event before we can head off. Sorry, Debbie, your stomach might all be very grumbly already, but it seems like we're still gonna be stretching this one because we're gonna be drawing, matches for the playoff brackets. Who are gonna be facing, because this is a very important session, because we can make another session where we do another live stream for the drawing, because that was like a hit or miss. So basically, if Bang here can take us to the stage again, it's actually very interesting because I was the one who did the Swiss bracket draw, and yes, I would just say the production was very professional.
Oh yeah, the draws, man. I have been in 2 draws already. I'm just used to it at this point. I even curse out the teams, right? Actually,
don't tell me they use the wheel of something for the draw.
No. We are more, where we have the professional version of a different
Oh,
draw.
okay.
It's still into the screen, live. But the thing is, it's actually, I was like, yeah, Bhutan might meet Bhutan, and they actually did. So this time around, I just hope that we're gonna be seeing different teams meeting against each other. So there we have it. Or
Look at
teams already,
that.
or Star
Oh
also
my
here, man.
goodness. Oh my goodness, 3 Indonesian teams is crazy. We got 2 Laos. Philippines, unfortunately, Satoru was wrong about that. It seems like they didn't qualify. And yes, Timor-Leste. So out of like the bunch of nations, there's only like 4 nations that make it. And that's very interesting. The fact that Indonesia just showed them power is crazy.
3 Indonesians, man. Just 1 Philippines. Yeah. Okay, that's very rare to see. But yeah, there was a lot of good teams here already. Look at that, man. Trident continue also make it here.
Yeah.
KK
Wait, Ray is
Esports-
here.
Wait, what?
Ray, you want to join the draw here?
Just be the back singer.
On my PC, but it's my phone mic. Is it like audible and?
Yeah, it's audible. It's audible. We're going to the draw. Look at these. Look at that.
Okay.
We're drawing, bro.
It's playoffs, right?
Yeah. Playoffs. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this professional quality production right here. Oh wait, who's gonna be the first one to
I was
go
there
against?
for the first draw not first draw, like the last draw of this stage.
Oh, KK Esports against who?
Oh,
It was like-
star of this today. Cosmic.
Yeah.
Cosmic again. Redemption.
Yeah. But Venividivici did say they want Cosmic Frogs, right? CEO just said that.
Yeah. They want that, yeah.
Let's see here. All right, KK Esports versus who? Indonesia, I'm pretty sure, because the odds are more stacked against them. Because there's 3 Indonesian teams. Oh no, that is no, they didn't get it.
No.
They didn't get it. It's all right though. If they win, maybe they can get it.
Bolty, what's the playoff stages like? Like, is it double elimination?
Single elimination. It's just gonna go straight to the grand finals like this. Quarters, semis.
Okay,
and,
it's a fast one.
yeah, straightforward, man. Time is ticking. Time is money. All right. As you can see, guys, KK Esports versus Venividivici. Laos versus Timor-Leste for the first, brackets of the playoff stage. Of course, we're gonna be getting more people down later on, but I feel like we can go for the second draw here. Remaining teams: Philippines, Laos, crazy, 3 more Indonesia. I'm pretty sure this time at least Indonesia gonna pick. Yes, Vortex Rain. Coach Hafitz, look at it. Coach Hafitz and his boys. Actually, very crazy. I love their. They're actually pretty good. The fact that they were experimenting through the Swiss stage.
Yeah.
These guys are mad lads.
But yeah, they're gonna be, who they are gonna go against here? But wait.
That's the thing, right? Is it gonna be an Indo rivalry here? It's gonna be brother for brother, or would it be
At least
PH? Laos?
PH. No, man. Hey, Trident Continue is also there, right? So
Yeah. Oh, it's Laos. Interesting. Leon Esports. They're ready. They're very ready. Look at these guys, man.
Oh my god. Look at them. Actually, so
Yeah.
if we have jersey like that, I would definitely go for this kind of.
Nah. You only use one picture, right? The thing that you take. You used it. It's from WFA. You used it till this day. It's about time you change, Debbie. It's about time you change.
I
Yeah, from WFA till like. Oh yeah, we're missing someone
Where is
here.
that?
Or Bhutan, Bang, why do you do
They
this?
just
All right.
I think we
Oh,
gotta have restart.
Yeah, we have to redraw because it's not gonna be that fair anymore if we don't do it from the start, right? Don't worry, guys. Technicality happened. This just proves the fact that we humans are not perfect. All right.
You're not perfect either. Yeah,
8
you're not
teams.
perfect either.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. There we go. It's like even now. Hi, Icy Paradise. They're back.
Yep. They're back. Demon King is back.
The Demon King is back.
Yep.
But you know, our star of this True International, I gotta say, has to be KK Esports and Leon, right? They were the first one to get qualified easily.
Yeah.
So, but even Cosmic Fox, you know, they have a lot of potential. So they are
Yeah.
so good. One of the favorites for Sebastian as well. So I remember. Well, talking
Yeah.
about Leon, there they appear. First one.
If the second one falls to KK Esports again, the stars just aligns for them. That's what I'll say.
Stars align.
Yeah.
Okay, who is it gonna be like?
KK Esports. KK Esports. KK Esports. Laos versus Laos. Laos versus Laos. Laos versus Laos. Told you, bro! Let's
Wow!
go!
Oh my goodness! So these are the battles of the top teams who qualified here already. Is saying, man, KK Esports. I think they are the fans' favorite. I think.
Yeah.
Just
There can be only one Laos team.
what to do about the Indonesian team.
I have no idea about it. I feel like we have to question Bang about this. Bang? Are we ringing? Kidding, just kidding. Just kidding, guys. I'm always that guy when it comes to professionalism. I don't, that's not my cup of tea. I like, fun, casual time.
Casual times. It's always got love the casual times,
Yeah.
and we're also casually drawing as well. So what's that?
Okay, Cosmic Fractal.
Cosmic Fractal. Look at them, man. They're so ready, I guess. Ooh,
Very ready. They have like an 8-man roster as well. That's crazy. Or is it their
Yeah.
coach in the middle? Or
That's the coach.
yeah, the
What if
smart
they get
one is
tried?
always the coach, right? The very well dressed, attired one is always the coach. All right. Here
has
we
to be.
are. Yeah. Okay, Vortex Rain back. Code Hafitz and his team is back.
We are back. Let's see. Vortex Rain versus Cosmic Frog. It's gonna be interesting. I think the playoffs, it's all interesting already. There's no, we might not even see pure domination. We might see back-to-back games.
Very much true.
Oh, these teams are actually from different regions. Look at that.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very balanced lineup now. No more brother face and friends. They celebrated their victory tonight, and yes, they're gonna be up for like the third match. I'm pretty sure. Yes, against who though? Against who?
Against who? That's the question. We have Icy Paradise already. Tried and continue.
Yeah.
Vinny Viti.
I
Alright.
kind of want Trident continue. Not gonna lie.
Trident.
Yeah, Trident.
Trident to go against. Oh, see this.
Because Indo. Oh, never mind. Because Indo and Philippine rivalry is always there, so I just want to see it again.
Maybe
Arleon. Yeah.
Arleon? Okay.
Yeah.
I see Paradise, man. They made it this far, right? We also had 3 Baton teams, and they were the one actually making it. And I really like the interview that we had before from another Bhutan team. They were like, Icy Paradise are always top 1 in their nation. They find it hard to beat them, so maybe this time around they'll be showing us again. It was so fun to watch the match that we had today. It was a big comeback for them too as well.
Yep. Very much true. So Philippines versus Bhutan this time around, the third match. But that's fourth and last match though against these two guys. Of course, we already know what's gonna be the outcome, right? Because literally on the screen right here. Timor-Leste versus Indonesia. Trident Continue is gonna be the first one. Does this mean that they're gonna get the first pick, or it's just okay, first pick. Okay, we got a confirmation from Bang himself. Trident Continue gonna get that first pick. And Timor-Leste, they did win at the last, but They're not the least, okay, but they're still gonna be playing on the bottom one. All right, we have it, guys. Look at these bunch of good teams this time around. Of course, till the semis is gonna be a best of 3 series, as we already know, and then from the grand final it's gonna be a best of 5. So hopefully teams are prepared for this. They finally got their matchups here and there. We got the Laos. Actually, this is actually very balanced, right? The way it's very well organized. We got the upper brackets as both same nations playing against each other, and then the bottom one is like different nation playing against each other. So okay, it's a win-win for me. I like what do you call it? Something that's aligned, like those kind of guys.
Yeah.
I forgot the word.
A little bit of OCD right there, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's looking very symmetrical to me. So yeah.
That where. Okay.
I have my
You know,
OCD, so.
Yeah, it also has to be that. You know, unless Trident Continue wins, we're not gonna be seeing a same reason finals, right? Unless Trident Continue wins and Cosmic Fox or either or two of them, one of them from the two wins. So it's very balanced so far, and I think they will be able to do so. Yeah, there was a good draw that we did. Two same reason meeting against each other in the playoffs.
Yep. And more games means more casting. And yes, we're going to be ending it right here, guys. We've stretched that duration long enough, but not that long enough to keep us bored. So that is good though, guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. This True International, of course, always a bridge against nation to come for the international exposure. I always let my tongue slip these days. I don't know what am I doing. Maybe I try to talk too fast because of the play-by-play that I have to, keep up, right? So the more information we put there, the better it is. So that's basically me, I guess. But anyways, we want to thank Nextg again right here for the very, 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 very nice sponsorship for the prize pool as well. But Debbie on the other hand is a bit inverted there. She points herself on her name instead.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Like
there we go. Wait. Why is it pointing upward like this? I don't get it. But anyways, guys, seems like we are exhausted. Our streamer might also be exhausted. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow in the playoffs in the best of 3 series till the best of 5 on the grand finals. So we'll catch you. This is Debbie and Bolty signing off. We'll see you tomorrow.